traveler.
I have no time for games.
The end is coming! Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
You require my assistance? Adingo! We're gonna be rich.
I have no time for games.
Inferno! You require my assistance? Who am I?
Let me change your mind.
All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Maniac Monday Wild Nozstone tournament. I'm Dr. Fish, and I will be your op. I'll just be doing everything in the background, and these two fine gentlemen, Rotted and Jailstorm, will be taking us through the matches. We are just waiting on the brackets to be made, as I cannot make them myself. So our lovely mod Mako will be making them for us. I have contacted the first, at least one of the participants of our first match, but we don't know decks yet. But we'll see what the brackets give us for matches.
Yes. I know. I'm also happy to speculate, if I may.
Yes.
Go for it.
So, Jailstorm, tell me what you think about Nozdormu as a format, as a tournament format. What's your experience with this card? What are your thoughts?
So just generally across the board, I think combo decks definitely take a hit with the addition of Nozdormu and the time restriction. Most notably, APM Mage, Mozaki Mage, even stuff like Dark Glare, Celestial Druid, that gets impacted by the turn timer, and those decks might
Yes.
not be as safe to run. I think the only deck that is outright like unplayable with the addition of Nozdormu is Big Priest. Um, and the only deck that doesn't really have a hindrance when Nozdorm is added is probably the Dragon Rogue with the Necreum Apothecary and a Deathwing combo. So,
Right. Because
yeah.
that's not too time intensive once you get the pieces in place.
hmm Yeah. What do you think?
It strikes me that you've listed a bunch of tier 1 and tier 2 decks. You're talking about Darkler, you're talking about Reno Priest, and you're talking about also, Druid might not necessarily be tier 1 or tier 2, but it's still tier popular. And
hmm
so these are decks that people will almost by default bring to just about any wild tournament, or bring to wild competition in general. But if they don't have them here, or they have access to them here but are under a big time crunch, that's really going to change the style of play. I'm very interested to see how people compensate for that.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, given that you only have 15 seconds for your turn, I think most players would try to go for an aggro strategy just because that's what they're comfortable with. Um,
Yes.
but with the power level of combo decks being decreased, I think it's actually around the Reno and mid-range decks of that control and mid-range that's going to dominate today. So we
I
might
think
see
that's
stuff like
right.
Odd
Yeah.
Paladin, we might see stuff like Hand Buff, we might see
Yeah.
stuff like, I don't know, Galakron Shaman. So
That would not surprise me. And stuff that is, I don't want to say less difficult to play, but perhaps more straightforward is going to probably be the order of the day. Because like stuff like Dark Glare, when I think about a pop off turn for Dark Glare, it requires often knowledge that you don't have to start the turn to finish the turn. And what I mean by that is you need to dig into your deck, and you just don't literally have the time to pull stuff out of your deck and evaluate its significance before you are forced to just do something with a card like Solarium, for example. It's just hard.
yeah, I agree. With Dark Lair specifically, I mean, that's just one of those decks. You could play it 100 times, you could play it 200 times, and still, even after all that experience, you're discovering new lines and evaluating new, I don't know, board states. It's just one of those decks. The ceiling of strategy and development for the intuition and thinking, the decision making for that deck is just through the roof. So,
Yes, it's a very high skill cap deck, and this puts a premium on that. The one thing I'm really hoping to see, if we're talking about control, which you had mentioned, I think control is super viable in a mode like this. But I really, really, really want to see two things. I want to see someone bring a control style warlock deck, and I want to see them complete a successful defile clear in the time allotted for a Noz turn. Because some of those defile math turns are really tricky, and they're a
mhm.
favorite of mine. And I want to see these players put to the test.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is really going to be some solo adventure similar to the Boomsday stuff.
Hell yeah!
um, with those defile turns. But yeah, I mean, as we said before, it really comes down to the experience and intuition you've brought with those decks. So I think we'll see a lot of comfort picks from people today.
I think so. And you had alluded to it in the uh, sort of introductions of the players, that it's a lot of this is going to be about comfort and knowing the lines you need to take before they're before the turns happen, because you're not going to really have the time on the turn to evaluate more than a couple of options and then just go.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, when you hear that rope ticking and you've got to make those critical decisions, I mean, you can only look so far into the future. And that second after you hit that end turn and you realize the consequences of what could happen as a punish, I mean, that's just brutal. So we might see a couple rage quits today. We might see a couple early concedes, but yeah,
I think we're going to see a lot of fun one way or the
Yeah.
other.
We're just
absolutely. Yeah.
seems to be a little bit of difficulty with the brackets, unfortunately. We're gonna get
Oh,
them up
we'll get
as
there.
ASAP. I mean, this tournament in itself isn't gonna take too long, as it's very gonna be pretty quick. Um, and we only have 10 participants after the thing. We might have 11. I think it's being a bit of a pain for one of the players to check in that wanted to check in. I know it's past the time,
And that is okay.
but we will get there. We will get there when we get there.
So let's talk about, since we have a hot
Sure,
second,
sure.
let's talk about Nozstone itself.
Yes.
Because I know the original Dragon was a little bit of a subject of controversy among a more competitive player base because it was difficult for some players with certain disabilities to respond to the condition that Nozstone put on the board. But with a card like the new Nozstone, you're going to be able to really say that this is a situation we want specifically here, and then THL can say like ban the other Nozstone, and so we can have like these curated boutique events, but not necessarily like, you know, make it harder in our general competitions for people who might not be able to follow. What are your guys' thoughts? What's your history with Nordstormu in general in this effect?
Okay, we have matches.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we have
Just as a personal note on that last point, there's been many times when Nozstorm is played and an unfortunately long interaction causes the opposing player to miss their turn. And that's always kind of a pain to have to deal with. But other than that, I mean, I think it's generally fine. It's good to respect and keep an eye out for stuff like that with players with disabilities that might run into issues with stuff like this. But I think with the way it's implemented, where both players have to put it in their deck,
Mhm.
it's a good workaround. So,
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I think. Yeah, it allows people to opt into it rather than have it just sort of happen to them.
yeah, yeah.
Although it looks like we do have a bracket, yes.
Yes, we do.
So we have a couple of matches available to us in our opening round, and then a few waiting for us in the round two. Well, when people are ready,
Yeah,
let's get it.
So we're gonna start off because I see there's a match I want to spectate. We're gonna watch Clone versus Quake Lord as our first match.
Awesome.
Let me make sure I have.
Let
these
me
guys
make sure I at these players at
Yeah.
at Quake. Wait.
Yeah, so just for this first round, since there's only
All
10
right.
participants, there's going to be 2 matches going on, and then it's going to go to the quarterfinals. So we've got Number Theory and Python, and the match that we're spectating of that round, the Clone and Quake Lord.
Yes.
Seems great.
So this is exciting. We have really pretty interesting matchup coming into this first round. I haven't looked at the decks yet, but if you guys
Yes.
if
Let's
you
Yeah,
guys
take
you
a
want me
look.
to go over Clone's deck list, and Rod, do you want to go over Quake Lords?
That seems absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so starting with Clone, it looks like he's got his Odd Warrior with Mutinous, Dr. Boom, Sticky Finger against Kingsbane. He's got a Reno Priest, which looks like a little bit of a greedier list. It's got Bran in there. It's got Sticky Finger as well for the Kingsbane. He's got a Reno Warlock, also with Sticky Finger against the Kingsbane. And a Luna's Pocket Galaxy Reno Mage, also with the Sticky Finger. So pretty hard targeting the Kingsbane.
By the power of Grayskull, looking at Quake Lord's list here, this is going to be an interesting slog. He's running a Reno Shaman with all of the sort of slow and greedy tech you would love. Oh my goodness, just looking at this list. He's running a
Yeah.
Reno Priest. So that's going to be sort of putting him to the test in terms of the APM stuff as he pushes on to the combo turn. We're also looking at a Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage with a pretty heavy dragon package and the amazing Reno at the top. And lastly, a Reno Warlock with the new N'Zoth God of the Deep. So you have a menagerie synergy.
Wow. So yeah, this is going to be some control versus control matchups.
Oh, yeah, it is.
The only deck I think might have difficulty and struggle against both of these players' lineups is just Clone's Odd Warrior, just because with Zephyrs and a Jiraxis, it creates such a an unwinnable position for the Odd Warrior to face against. So
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this series goes, and if it comes down to that final matchup.
Yeah,
I would say the Odd Warrior is unfavored into every single one of Quake Lord's lists, so that's going to be the challenge here.
Yeah, yeah. All right, are the players ready? Do we know?
yeah, I'll message them. I'll message them in the client. Yeah, they are all. It looks like they're readied up.
Excellent, excellent. Preparing to battle a friend. Yeah, looks like they're selecting their decks now. Then.
Yeah,
This is gonna be
interesting that off the
fun.
bat, I mean, we're seeing basically Reno mirrors across the board.
Yep.
I'm kind of surprised. I don't know about you.
Surprised, maybe delighted, absolutely. This is just the kind of like crazy ass Nozstone I was hoping for. I mean, aggro on aggro is fun, but this is to my heart. Just a bunch of Reno decks like scrambling to get stuff done. This is going to go to fatigue. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be horrible. We'll love it.
Yeah, and I think I see an eyeball from Clone here, so let's try and get into the match.
Excellent.
Excellent. So I'll grab the bands in between in this first match. First to spectate
Excellent,
for
thank you.
me is going to be Quake Lord. Second will be Clone. So
And
Okay,
it
it looks
looks
like
like Clone's Reno lock was banned out, and then Quake Lord's Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage was banned out. All right, so getting into the first game, it's going to be Clone's LPG Mage versus Quake Lord's Reno, so Reno Warlock. So
oh my god, and things are already going fast.
yeah, I mean, just off the bat, turn one, very quick. Clone turn two, ripping the Zephyrs,
Gonna
probably
have to
going
get
for
the
that
wild
wild
growth
growth.
fast. Yeah. There it is. Oh, this. Oh my god, this is gonna be amazing.
Yeah, Luna's Pocket Galaxy notably has some longer turns with the multi-card
Oh, yeah.
setup. So wild growth immediately.
Yep.
Okay.
Quake Lord does have some curve going here. Yep, there's the Death's Head. Part of the new Menagerie package for the new N'Zoth. Barista Lynchin comes down, pulling Zephyrs right back to hand.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, just getting value right away. It's gotta go fast.
Yeah, the Reno lock doesn't have an easy play this turn. Digs with the hero power.
I think he's gonna rip the Plague of Flames, yeah.
Yeah, early Plague of Flames, just keeping tempo, stopping that board.
Here comes the Malagos aspect.
Finds missiles, finds Nova, finds Frostbolt. I think you gotta pick the, oh, he picks the
Ooh.
freeze here. Okay.
Picks the freeze effect. Ziliax looks to be coming down on curve, I would think.
Yeah, and we see a lot of freezes in Clone's hand here. I mean, with the Varden, plus the Potion, plus the Nova.
He could sphere, he could ping Ziliax. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just throw your own Ziliax out there. Try to deny any healing, keep the
Yeah.
tempo.
Oh, this is insane. Oh my goodness. All right. Plays the Dark Skies for the full clear because his hand was full.
Librarian draws.
Can't tap because his hand will be full.
Yep, yep. We see
Tempo's at the
Nozstone
aid.
coming down. Okay.
There's Ticketus. That's going to be essential.
Yeah, if
Arctic
Ticketus
Defender.
mills that Luna's Pocket Galaxy, I mean, that's huge. That's a big difference maker.
Yes. So looking at his hand, he does have a Zola the Gorgon. He needs to find something. He has an enhanced Dreadlord in hand, so what I think we're going to see is Dreadlord next turn, and then Ticketus into Zola the turn after.
Here
comes
see the
the-
Dragon Queen Alex draws a what dragons is it gonna pull?
Ooh.
Oh, that's huge. Ysera Unleashed.
That might change the plans. We could see his fully corrupted Cascading Disaster at this point.
He decides
had-
to keep the Ysera. Interesting.
Yeah, doesn't have much time. I think he was worried he wouldn't have enough time to play it, and he would burn a card. All right, plays out the Enhanced Dreadlord, corrupting his Ticketus.
This is close to lethal here. I mean, with Zephyrs in hand plus the potion, I think this does it.
Does he have
Maybe?
time?
He doesn't find a Master Spell or anything like that. I mean, that would be the difference maker, but instead goes for the Wind Speaker. Not the most efficient.
No, but he's going to force a very defensive play, and he has to go fast. Clears off most of the board and pushes a ton of damage, putting Quakelord to 8.
Yeah, and I don't think Quakelord has the clear here against it.
Well, he can play a Drain Soul, and he can Cascade Disaster and Hope.
Yeah, it's really going to come down to... well, even after that, even if just the 5 drop sticks,
And he's gonna coin the Reno.
Alex Drossik closes it out. So, oh, gets the Reno in. Good call. Good call.
Yeah. Woo!
Reno.
Let's go.
Reno go fat. Reno Guzber.
There's a Primordial Protector. That's going to pull Pocket Galaxy.
What you like to see, definitely.
What is that? Oh, okay. It's Underbelly Ooze.
Underbelly Ooze.
Now he's going to play Ysera Unleashed.
Okay. Well, there's no Reno effects, even though he doesn't really have much reason for it.
He's already played a Zephyrus, so...
Yeah, the Reno Jackson and the Relicologist and stuff are all going to be pretty...
I think he might have to just slam the N'Zoth here.
Yeah, Cologne is pushing 21 damage here, so he's a little bit off of lethal. He might find it here.
Well, that's just going to be game.
Yeah, with the Alex Straza, I mean, that closes it out with no clear here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Potion of Illusion?
No,
oh, he's going to Zephyrs anyways.
Zephyrs is not active.
That's just...
Oh, you're right, it's
active.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to clear off the tick.
He had lethal with the Alex Straza. I mean, he must just not have seen it.
Yeah, you got to go fast in this format. It's hard. Oh, and there's the Godfrey.
Godfrey clears.
Godfrey clears.
No.
Pump the tick into Ysera, play Godfrey.
Yeah.
With the Drain Soul, that gets him out of lethal.
Wait. Okay, that'll be okay. Yeah, that'll be okay.
That'll be fine. He just bumps tick, Godfrey Heat. Yeah, Quakelord sees the line.
He has to play around the new Alex, though. Is he going to? No, he's not.
Oh, he taps instead.
Lifebinder is
No.
going to end the game.
Yeah. That will be lethal.
Yep. It happens.
Yeah, no.
That's
That's
so
a
intense.
close game 1. I mean,
Oh
it could
my
have gone
goodness.
either way at the end there.
Yeah. Holy guacamole. That was so intense. I'm sweating.
I mean, there's so much to digest there just in that one game. All the nuance of holding Ysera versus not holding the Ysera. I mean...
Well, and you saw exactly what we were talking about earlier.
I thought maybe we should have gone for a
there's
raid.
some, like, more
There's like a
subtle
raid
lethal
Zeverino
lines.
line probably in there, maybe. If you get the Reno
assuredly.
back.
But you just don't have time to think
But he just
about
doesn't.
it.
You don't
just
have
gotta
time to
pick a
think
line
about
and
it.
go.
Yeah, exactly.
And now we have the Reno Priest Nosmir. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow, this is fantastic. I mean, this is truly a privilege to see this.
I have lived for this moment.
So I'm trying to look at the differences between the lists here. I think Clones was the greedier list, if I remember.
Let me take a look here. Let me get them both up.
Yeah, slightly greedier. He runs Mutinous, he runs Zyrella, he runs Bran.
Yep.
Quakelord should be running the Zyrella package as well, from what I know from him, but he might not be in
Very
that.
decent
he is
hand
as
for
well, you're
Quakelord.
right.
There's a sticky finger. That's not going to matter.
Mage Scribe? Is this standard? Hello?
Yeah. I like Quakelord's opening hand here because he has the ability to get his pull count down, whereas Clone does not.
Yeah, even just drawing, I mean, the first 3 cards off Polkel is such a difference maker in this matchup.
Yep.
Finds the screen, too. That's going to accelerate even more.
Strong start for Quake.
Yeah, he'll be able to
Not
go
that Clone
for.
doesn't
He'll
have
be able to
good
go for.
stuff.
He'll be able to go for Kazakus pot here.
Yeah, you can go for a big Kazakus pot.
Yeah, probably a 5 potion here.
I would think so, yeah.
Ooh, he's thinking here, which is fine because he has time, but he doesn't have he doesn't have that much time. So he ends up goes for
the minions +4, draw 2, yeah.
+4, draw 2 makes sense. Now let's
Here comes another Kazakus.
5 potion, deal 5, deal 4 to all.
I think you go for the summon 2, right?
Deal 4 probably, and maybe armor or
Armor's good.
Summon.
Deal 4, add 2 random demons to your hand.
Yeah, the add 2 random demons isn't the best, but it should be not too bad.
If I were in Quake Lord's position, it might be better because we know the opponent has Mutinous, but meh.
Sometimes you can find a weird demon that pushes the advantage, like a Chaos Gazer.
Yeah, for sure.
We could be looking. Could he potentially find a? Nope, that's too late. I was gonna say with the 4 health Acolyte, there's a way to burn, but there's just not enough time to set it up. Gets decent demons though. Gets an enhanced Dreadlord and an Imprisonment.
He could have traded and then played it. That would have burned a card, but we don't. But at this point, we don't have. At that point, we have it all played out. The coin was dumped for hand space.
Here comes the Imprisoned Observer.
Observer and a Dreadlord.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Flash.
Yeah, he's got a couple options here.
He's just looking to dump cards, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe just to play out the Thalnos.
Yeah, maybe
like
just
playing
I
the
think
Thalnos
I think you
just
would
for
drop
the
the
draw.
Thalnos here, yeah.
Yeah.
Because if anything, it draws you. It kind of just cycles itself at best.
He's behind now in terms of his. Yeah, because we're gonna see Quake Lord get his Anduin online next turn.
Oh yeah, now he's just massively behind with the 0 mana pickup.
Especially if the Mutinous...
We're just gonna go for a rat. Pulls the sticky finger, draws the sticky finger. Is gonna heal up.
Interesting.
The pull count. Okay.
Okay.
Rat didn't pull any.
Risky
Rat didn't pull
there.
anything super significant. I mean,
no.
There's the there's
Anduin.
the answer Anduin. This is gonna eat Zyrella or Madame Lazul, and it gets the Zyrella here. But the Anduin's just gonna clear this right off the board next turn.
Anduin takes care of it easily.
Yeah, exactly. And then we draw Noz into Reno. So we'll have Reno on next turn.
Yep.
Gonna clear off that and
There's speaking of Noz.
draw. There's Noz for Clone. Clone drawing 2 in a row, that would be as if he had Polk Help, but he doesn't actually have Polk Help played.
No, and there's Zyrella. Quake Lord, I think, is ahead here, but
Yeah.
it's still a question of what happens. Whoever gets Raza down first, basically. But at this rate, it's going to be Quake Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough because as the priest here, you kind of want to push the tempo because you know you're behind on the combo game plan. But priest with the psychic scream, mass hysteria, I mean that just destroys the game plan. So Quake Lord is pretty clearly ahead.
Yeah, Reno gonna drop
Hysteria.
Mass Hysteria into a Lazul. So he's gonna be getting
Interesting. Ah.
smart. He
Very quick pickup there.
finds Dragon
Very
Queen.
decent. Yeah, the two free dragons are going to be very nice considering he's ahead on Anduin value.
Yeah.
Speaking of Anduin value, here comes Clone's Anduin. He's just gotta get it online.
Gotta get Andy on board here. He's ahead in health, but that doesn't matter because he's got less pings up. There's Raza. Machine gun coming out now.
Yep,
Well,
this
soon.
is it.
This is where the advantage goes to Quake Lord. He's gonna be pinging everything.
Yep. This game is very heavily favored for Quake Lord now.
Yes. Considering he's only a few draws away from
Priest
spawning.
top decks Raza right here like he does. I mean,
Woo!
Yeah,
was
but
the
he's
top
not
deck
gonna.
he needed,
He's not
so.
playing it. He's gonna go for the Hysteria over the Raza. I'm questioning this a bit.
He's
Yeah,
worried
I
about
don't know, but-
he's worried about getting lethal. next
Spawn
turn.
lethal, yeah, spawn lethal, but there would still be a tail-in draw. Oh no, there is no tail-in. He just went
I
for the
think
straight-up
that
spawn of
does it.
shadows.
Yeah.
He's gonna wait one more turn and play the DQ Alex first.
Yeah, I like this play.
Ooh, bit of a risk there. I mean,
Yeah.
I
You
think
know-
he definitely had it, but
Yeah, but I think in this format, given that the opponent doesn't have Raza online, I think it's okay to wait, knowing that you have at least one turn ahead advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah, true,
He doesn't want to.
true.
He doesn't want to have to do too many APMs. in a turn.
Yeah,
Is my
so
guess.
next turn he's gonna have to just go all in, but he has 3 0-cost cards, including the Raised Dead. I think we're gonna see him go in with the spawn here and just try his best.
100%, I agree. He can just
Oh,
go.
he goes for the palm reading and not the hysteria. I mean,
Doesn't have the ability to clean it off.
that's
Yeah, I mean, this
tough.
just makes
Yeah.
this just
Go
makes it
fast,
ever
Quake Lord.
easier for Quake Lord to lethal here. He only needs to
Yeah,
he only needs to get
he's
like
got
3
this
pings
one
in.
100%.
Gonna ping, spawn.
Going slowly.
Turns halfway done and spawn comes down. I mean,
Oh, he's got it.
yeah.
It's gonna
And
go
I think
fast.
Clona actually gives up, so
Clone concedes.
doesn't even test the turn timer.
No, Malagos
1-1.
clears it. Oh, okay.
Woo.
He did concede. Okay.
Oh, I have the vapors. That is intense.
I also have.
1-1. We've seen a victory for Clones LPG and a victory for Quake Lords Reno Priest.
Yeah, so Quake Lord's got that Reno Shaman and the Reno Warlock against Clone's Reno Priest and his Odd Warrior still to go. So
Yes. So now we see the Reno Priest from Clone going back out there, and Quake Lord's Reno Shaman coming out. Looking at the Reno Shaman list, it's a pretty spicy little list, and it includes Archivist Elysiana for fatigue, so this is basically just like White Delight's list. with
yeah,
some
I mean,
slight
there's a couple
additions.
key disruption cards in the Shaman deck in terms of the Dirty Rat, the Death Lord, Mutinous, and possibly Bandersmosh. So
Yeah. I'm just gonna be trying to grab the next
Yeah, do what you gotta
match as
do.
we do.
Draconic Studies gets the Draconid Crusher. Not relevant now, maybe later.
yeah, not the best picks from Draconic Studies right there.
No. But this is good. Getting a Wild Growth to get ahead on the curve.
Yeah, Wild Growth is always a great pickup from Zephyrs,
yeah.
advancing the game plan just a little bit.
It's a pretty good pickup for Clone there in Kazakus, giving him something to do on curve. Quake Lord, in the meanwhile, has some of his disruption tools, as does Clone, so we're going to see just what this Mutinous and this Dirty Rat can hit. Zephyrus gets targeted by the Seance.
Interesting there, yeah, because
Gotta go with
that
it.
might have been an early seance. Maybe you want to save that for Mutinous or something later in case your own game plan goes awry, but
There's Kazakus. Ice fishing, and he's going to trade off the Zeph. Good enough. Not the greatest hit, though. Kazakus isn't the card you want to hit with the Dirty Rat, even if it is value, I suppose.
yeah, and I think this is just going to be a heal pass from the Priest, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be too worried about a 2-6 on the board.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Quake Lord on 6 mana gets a convenient use of it with a Cartridge Defender.
Yeah, picks up the tempo play on curve. Always nice.
Yeah. There's Bran. Think he might just tempo the Draconid here. Or he could... No, tempo that. That's fine. Tempo something.
Yeah, Sticky Fingers has a decent enough stat line against this board, so...
Here comes Mutinous. Will it hit something of value? Bran, valuable per se, but in Reno Priest, it's sort of an outside inclusion, so it's not a devastating loss.
Agreed.
But chip damage does matter here, though. Clone's sitting at 22. It's gonna coin out
Yeah,
his
so
own
Clone's
Mutinous?
Clone's
No.
got a couple decisions here.
I see what he's doing.
Interesting that he goes for the penance removal instead of the Shadow Word Death. I think the priority would be killing the Mutinous here, but I don't know.
I think he's thinking about screaming this.
Yeah, setting up for a Scream, perhaps.
It's a Torrent, full cost. Very straightforward turn for Quake Lord. Almost has to scream now. Nope, just gonna play the death, perhaps?
Yeah, I like just death heal pass here.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a ton of resources, so you gotta save them and use them appropriately. I mean,
Seems good to me, yeah.
yeah.
There's Toxfin to go with Flurgle. Tempos out the Shutter Walk.
He mutinises the enemy mutinous.
Finds a big game hunter also via the Zephyrus. Going for pure tempo at this point. I kind of like it. It's a little bit off. What does that get? Another BGH, perhaps?
I guess. I mean,
Damn, that'll deal with
I
Shutter.
do like that previous Shutterwalk play, though. I mean, you see your opponent has just a few cards left in their hand. If they've got 1 or 2 minions left, the Shutterwalk on that turn was just the right amount of disruption, so...
Yeah, and Quickler still has good control tools to deal with stuff. Like, he could choose to Flurgle Toxfin here if he wants, or just rip his scheme. Because the scheme is sitting at 8, yeah. There's Hagatha instead, ooh. Okay, that deals with most stuff. Comfortable taking 8. That kind of works for me. It gets Kazakus back after all, even if it was ratted.
Yeah, no,
Go for a
those are
big
2
10
great
pot.
pickups from the Raised Dead. I mean, both Kazakus and Zephyrs.
Plays out Talon.
The potion is deal 8, draw 3, okay.
Not bad. He's probably just going to rip that next turn then and juice his hand. Here comes the BGH.
Yeah, maybe his own
Might play
Talon.
his own Talon, yeah. I'll play his Deathlord. Yeah, I think that Deathlord's a good call here because he knows he hasn't seen the opposing Raza yet, so it could hit it.
Mm-hmm. Well, the deal 8 lines up just right into the Deathlord here, so we might see it, might not.
No, or he's choosing to pass on it instead. Heals face. Zyrella. I guess that will clear with the double bump. Sets
Yeah,
up a
it's good
decent
enough.
board. And there's the Raza that we worried about.
That's such a tough card to see ripped from Clone's deck. I mean, that lowers his
Here's
chances of winning by
Yeah, that's-
20% at least, so.
That's basically game, I think. I'm not sure how Clone can get there, given Quakelord's control tools plus Archivist Elysiana. Would have to be
Yeah, I'm trying to
crazy
see.
you, Alex. Oh, jeez.
I mean, he does still have Mind Render or Lucia, so there is the point in which Clone just plays for tempo as much as possible
Yeah.
and steals Quakelord's endgame plan, but we'll see.
Oh, Murazon is an interesting pickup. He's going to get a double evolve here. Dark Moon Rabbit. Did he get the attack off? He did.
Okay, good, yeah.
Jeez. Well, he has a massive scheme that he's just going to rip here, so.
Yeah, that was a good 10 drop, almost turned into a very bad 10 drop. So.
And the Anubisoth Warbringer on the board is very minimal right now because it only hits Zephyrus and the Kobold Geomancer.
Mhm.
He's not even going to go for it. He's just going to... just daring Clone to have something here. Didn't get the attack off? He did. Okay, cool. Zeph at a 6/5 gives him a Leviterian. Yeah.
Yeah, Tyrion's...
Goes for Natalie
I
Celine
don't know
instead.
about the Natalie Celine here, but...
Alright. Develops an 8/6. Well, there's Volcano. That can clear that off, or the scheme. Yeah. Quickload has every single amount of resources to deal with this. And considering the Raised Dead has already been spent, there's literally no way Clone can get Raza back. So I think we're just... Yes. I think there's very little way for Clone to win this.
Yeah, I might agree with you. I mean, it's probably down to 10, maybe 15% chances for Clone here, but...
And a lot of his cards are reactive purely as well. Not to develop his own initiative, but to deal with something Quakelord might do.
Yeah, yeah.
Healing Rain. There's Anduin.
Well,
Yeah, but without Raza, the machine gun isn't online. It's just... Yeah.
He's still got about 6 turns though to make something happen, so we'll see.
Spirit Echo. Another healing rain. There's just no way Quickload has the damage. He's burning lightning storm. It's just yeah.
Yeah, no, I might agree with you. At this point, just about over.
Yeah, it looks like he will.
Yeah, Quakelord just taking his time here. He's got every answer he could want at this point, so.
Yeah. Talon will pull Nozstone.
The shadows grow short.
Yep. He's keeping his hand nice and light so he doesn't burn anything. I mean, he's still gonna burn a card, but he won't burn OG Nozstone, which will come into his hand right now. Yeah, I mean, he can just scream it, but that just exacerbates things into fatigue.
Yeah, yeah.
Here comes an earthquake, perhaps. Yeah, he's got so much premium removal, it doesn't matter. Like, he has a Haggath's scheme sitting at 16 for whatever. And all these random build spells.
The shadow short.
We're probably just going to see Pole Kill here, because it's the biggest thing he's got left. I mean, and even with Elucia for shenanigans, what could Elucia do with 7 mana remaining and the time crunch of a Nozstone turn?
Yeah, not much, especially since Zephyrs is offline, because Quakelord used it for wild growth early in the game, so.
It's off. That's a big freaking board.
Almost out of cards.
Yeah, that's something. This is perhaps the only line. Nope, there it is. And Reno's back online.
Yeah, no, that's funny.
I'm out of. The shadows grow short.
Ooh, mind games.
Must decide.
I would think he'd want to. Okay. Is there ever lethal here, even with the limitation?
I'm thinking this might be the point, and that's why I lean toward the
This is
side of just
only
Reno
chance.
Zola, but.
Oh no. If he's attacking like that, the game's over.
Oh yeah, you can't win back the board at this point. I mean, come on.
And lethal probably wasn't there with the math and the mana. No, everything's. Fatigue is just gonna. He literally does not have the cards to OTK him.
Yeah, yeah. And at this point, Elucia doesn't really do anything super productive,
Plays
so.
out the new Nas, like, put some pressure.
Yeah, I gotta commend
No, he didn't. Doesn't matter.
and I gotta commend Quakelord here. I mean, I don't know if he packed it or what, but that's a golden Nozdormu. I've never seen that.
That's gonna give him BGH. Jiraxis would be better, but he doesn't have the luxury of taking it.
Yeah. Yeah, Quake Lord just able to take his time here. I mean, he doesn't have a super easy clear, but Tidal Wave, I guess it does enough. Yeah.
And with all the Bewitch cards, he's got options out the yin yang. Just putting out pure pressure, not even pinging. I think we're gonna see the scheme here and just call it good.
Yeah, Clone really just taking every last chance he could possibly get. Maybe Quake Lord disconnects and the game ends there, but
No, I would think Clone is actually going to play the Lucy here just to see what's in the hand, as a curiosity. See if there's anything that is valuable.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I could. He's like, what do I do with all this? Yeah.
And you've only got 15 seconds to look at, what, 9 cards?
No.
Mm-hmm.
There and Quick Load will dump the final cards. Yep. And that's it. Quick Load goes up 2-1. Woo. This is intense.
That was a long game of Nozstone, I gotta say.
Goodness.
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because we saw the Reno Priest Mirror, and Quake Lord won that. So, it's just the Reno lock, right?
Versus Anduin.
Yeah, so it's Reno lock against the Reno Priest of Clone. This one might go the distance as well, guys.
Yeah.
See Lord Keeper Polkel already.
We're gonna have some shenanigans. All right, so Polkelt, looking at the list of Quake Lord, their Reno Lock does not run Gnome Feratu.
Mm-hmm.
That's a note for Polkelt. Appreciators out there.
Yeah, so the...
Oh, well said, well said.
Oh yeah,
I
that was
keep
that was
thinking There's a
unmuted.
meta deck, and these are like, this is perfect. This is exactly correct. Oh my god.
Yeah, he'll pull Alex, then Anduin, then Mutanus.
I think it's
So,
Powered Feast here. Yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah, I have the next match waiting in the wings.
Sweet.
So if Quake Lord wins here, we're gonna be moving
Tap.
into the Rice Bowl match after this.
Sweet.
okay. The notable disruption from the Warlock deck this time around is just the Dirty Rat. He's got the Ticketus
Ooh,
and
takes the
Mutinous.
extra TQ Alex.
Greedy. I
Tell
don't
about the
mind
brand.
it. Tempo Bran, okay.
I mean, what is Brand doing in this matchup too?
Definitely, yeah.
Double shuffle full cult. I'm like, oh,
Mhm. Yeah.
it's probably. What is Brand threatening? Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Mhm.
Let's play the Cartoon Defender.
I don't know, maybe if you inside it or discount it like you did with the
Oh,
Draconic
interesting.
Cities.
Quake is going for a very greedy play. Kind of like
my
it.
God, I love it. This is Greed City.
He's gonna
It's
have
double Mutanus, double Gul'dan.
double Blood Reaver, yeah, which is great because Blood Reaver can just play all the demons, and Ticketus is gonna get corrupted next turn. With the Mutanus very likely.
Kind of interesting.
Mutanus has quite a bit of options to pick from. Can grab. Like really, it's a 50-50 between getting like a really good one and a really bad one. So we'll see how this plays.
Still rip Mutanus here.
Obviously, yeah, it could also hit Lucy now. Lucia.
Bye, Lucia.
It does Mind Render or
7
Lucia.
mana, 5/7 is not great, but it gets rid of Lucia.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not really what you want to see eaten by Mutanus on the side of the Warlock. There's better stuff that you could pull from the Priest, but...
Right.
Yeah. The brand not being there is a bit rough because now the Ticketus doesn't do a whole lot, but it's shuffled. It's shuffled, but now he plays it, and I think it burns Anduin. Like his Anduin's just gone if he rips it. Like all the cards that Clone is gonna need are gone because of Polkel. Anduin.
Knight,
I mean,
Sweet
Yeah, and he just
Prince.
concedes instantly. Yeah. Okay. So I didn't even get
There's
to.
Anduin,
I
yep.
didn't even get to switch to show. It was
Mutanus,
2-1.
Reno, Sticky Finger. Yeah, no. Well, Anduin anyway.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Anduin and
Quick
Reno
wins
are gone. Yeah,
2-3-1.
so Quake takes it. Um, 3-1.
The
So
yeah,
power of grace.
Quake's Reno list. I mean, getting the win there over the other Reno lists, and we didn't even see the Odd Warrior from Clone here. But
yeah,
what do we got next coming up?
we have. I'm just refreshing to just look at who it is that Rice Bowl is playing. He's playing Mr. Python. So we've
Get some.
got very good matchup coming in
Ooh,
next.
this is fun. This is a
Yeah.
this is a match just in between my own team here. Both of these guys are on Bash Bros with me,
Oh,
so
interesting.
yeah, no, very fun.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna swap the screens around. I'm gonna take a few minutes to do this, so a little
Okay, let's go over the decks while you're transitioning here.
sure.
Sounds great. After you, my friend.
Yeah, so starting with Rice Bowl, he's got his Luna's Pocket, or actually this is not Luna's Pocket, it's just regular Secret Reno Mage. He's got a Highlander Reno Priest, kind of standard, has a little bit of other inclusions. He's got Reno Warlock, and then finally he's got Odd Paladin. So
Excellent.
what about
On
for
the other
Python?
side, exactly. Mr. Python is also running an odd Whoa, whoa, whoa! That's not an odd paladin. That is a
Hand buff.
hand buff paladin. That's right. I was looking at it. I was like, wait a second. That's not what I was thinking it is. He's running a hand buff paladin. He has a druid, actually, which is a jade druid. Ooh, with Yogg, Master of Fate, and Ysera Unleashed. That could be very interesting in the time crunch. We have a Reno Demon Hunter? What is this? Yeah, Reno Demon Hunter with a lot of Death Rattle synergies. My goodness.
Yeah,
Double Zoth.
this looks like a mid-range deck. I mean,
Oh,
it's got a bunch of stuff.
this is spicy. I like this.
Yeah,
Well, we'll hope to see
Python
that.
loves his spice.
Yeah. And then a very traditional Kingsbane with Nozstone of the Eternal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
KB is always
I
a good
wonder about
choice.
this Jade. This Jade is actually interesting to me. I think if you're going to do a Druid, this is maybe the way to do it. I mean, if you don't want to run aggro, I guess. Like,
So he's got
it's
DH.
just
So
like
he's got DH, Druid, Rogue,
yeah,
and something else.
Paladin.
Paladin. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm
'cause I gotta get
interested
the
to see
classes
how this
right.
Jade Druid does. I mean, it has double seeds, it has double starfall. Uh,
Yeah,
there's
it's a control shell with and I'm never sure how to feel about fungal fortunes with an Oaken package, but he's doing it
Mhm.
anyway. So we have the sort of Jade control shell and then the Jades. So I don't know, maybe it gets there. It's kind of slow, but it's a fast format. We'll see.
Yep, I sent the players,
Yeah,
so
I think
we'll be specking Python. I'll be specking Python first, and then specking Rice Bowl when we get into game.
Perfect.
okay, yeah, it looks like they're just starting to challenge each other. So
Cool. That's all good. Appreciate them for waiting for us while we get all set up. After this, we're gonna have both semifinals matches ready. I want to see if there's
Oh,
if we do have any semifinalists so far, as some matches have been. I know that some matches have been played.
yeah, I'm just waiting for bands here to come in.
Yeah, that's fine. They have to ban first before they'll challenge, and then they'll ban, and then they'll be ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so far, Hazer and Nice Jewish Owl have made it into the semifinals. So, and
seems good.
we are waiting on a report for the Quake Lord clone match, and then the winner of that will go and face Seth in the quarters. Hazer and Nice Jewish Owl both taking 3-0 victories against their opponent. They had some nice, quick, easy matches, or maybe not easy, but some nice, quick matches for themselves.
Yeah, just looking at both of those players' lists, it looks like Hazer brought his Reno Priest and the Shutterwalk Shaman, also with Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage and Odd Paladin. just taking a 3-0. So apparently
good.
it's a good lineup.
Yeah, seems
Mhm.
solid.
Yeah. Right. If we they're preparing to battle, so that means we're getting our bands in. And that'll be updated after the first match.
Yeah, just taking a look around at the rest of the bracket too. Nice Jewish Owl. He took a 3-0 over Naturia Beast. He actually brought Mozaki Mage with Tayland and Nozdormu. So interesting.
He didn't take he took my advice and didn't listen didn't let me dictate what he brought. So good on him. Yeah. I'm curious.
Yeah,
I am
no, I
curious to
find
see
that
because
very
like
interesting.
I love. I mean, I really like these lists that these players have brought. For sure. Definitely. Definitely gonna be interesting to see how the bands come in.
It looks like the bans are in. It's a double paladin ban.
All right, so no odd
So
pal.
Interesting.
both the looks like both of the odd paladin and the hand buff got the ban here.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess that kind of makes sense. Odd Paladin is just strong, and all right, we'll see. We'll see if they miss the hand buff. All
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the Reno Demon Hunter that Mr. Python brought, but we'll hopefully see that in action today.
I think we absolutely will.
It looks like they're just getting into the match here.
Perfect. Let's get
I
some.
messaged just in case.
Okay.
So yeah, I was told that they were just starting.
Here it goes. Yeah.
All right.
We're gonna miss the first couple of turns, so if y'all catch something that I don't, it's because of the wait. It's because I have to load up both people.
Okay. We
Okay.
have
Okay.
Rice Bowl's Reno Lock against Mr. Python's Kingsbane Rogue.
I make my own.
Yeah, this Reno lock has a number of 1-drops. I mean, I think it's got around 8 1-drops. So it can contest the early game of the rogue quite well. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
seeing Reno, Ziliax, I think this is a full keep by the Warlock. I mean, these are all great.
Yeah. I might toss Ziliax. I don't know. I mean, looking at the list, eh. Reno and Ziliax are a little slow against Kingsbane. I mean, you kind of need them, but you kind of also need stuff to get to them. So I don't know. It's an interesting decision point for Rice Bowl here.
Yeah, Mr. Python has quite a big decision too about whether to keep the Kingsbane, whether to keep the cannons without a pirate. And it looks like full keeps by both players. Interesting.
Kingsbane straight up and also attacks with it. Get him.
Yeah, just a little bit of that early damage. And Rice Bowl also with a golden Nozdormu. I have to commend him. Wow.
Too soon.
Python just sticking to the face game plan, getting as much chip damage in as possible. Rice Bowl decides to tap.
Interesting.
Too soon.
All right. Seems good. Here comes the cannon and a South Sea deckhand, which will also pull patches. Oh, no patches?
Patches bug.
I think that's a bug, right?
Yeah, it must be.
All right, I'm gonna try and reconnect.
Yeah, patches is definitely there.
Oh yeah, no, there's a known bug with patches. They just never fixed it.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave the spectate as well.
Yep.
All right, I'm just hopping back into the match here. Looks like the Dark Skies cleared up that board with the South Sea patches and the cannon. Now it's going to be a coin Ziliax onto the Cavern Shiny Finder that Python developed.
Here comes the Kingsbane again, but it still hasn't been buffed, and I have to think that because of that, this is starting to get advantage Rice Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Deckhand goes into Ziliax. So no, Eviscerate does. Ugh. If you're spending Eviscerates on Ziliax,
Yeah, that's a tough turn. You don't like to see that as the rogue player, but you gotta get past it.
yeah. Here comes Loatheb, locking out the Tinkers next turn. Yeah.
Yeah, solid play reading the reading against the Tinker's Oil.
See Immortal Coil on the Shiny Finder.
He has to
What? Oh, what?
decide what to do. Absolute Hysteria.
Using still pushes 5 damage.
Using that to push the damage, which is fantastic. Like, he didn't have to decide between the two of them. He does pull the buck here, which is gonna allow for
it's gonna finally buff it up to 5.
Yeah, so now this is where it gets
Yeah,
dangerous for the Reno luck. If he did not have Reno Jackson,
and it's in the name. Oh, and there is Archwitch Willow.
Yeah, Willow for sure is really good here.
Well, it won't pull. It'll only pull at least one taunt, or not necessarily even. It could pull Mal'Ganis and the Void Caller.
Yeah.
I think we're still going to see the Willow here, though.
Yeah, and Willow's just such a strong tempo play to swing this back
Mal'Ganis
towards
and the Void
Rice
Caller.
Bowl.
Yeah.
That's still good. Nozstone has to tank into the Mal'Ganis.
Yeah, and Python drawing empty here. I mean, he's really got nothing, so...
Yeah, he doesn't have a raiding party or anything in here. This is really rough. He's gonna be down to 7 after this turn. And Zephyrus is just lethal.
Yeah, Zephyrus picking up Bloodlust or pretty much anything at this point. Closes it out,
There it is.
Gore Howl too. Yeah.
Done, dusted. 1-0, Mr. Rice Bowl.
Yeah, so the Reno Lock getting through.
Yeah, so Rice Bowl with his 3 Reno decks left, he still has he has 2 Reno decks left. He's just got that Secret Mage, and then the Highlander Priest. So
yeah.
I don't know if you're Python here. Do you just keep going with the Kingsbane? Do you switch to the Jade, the Demon Hunter? I don't know.
We have to get them all through, so...
Yeah.
Here comes the Demon Hunter. And meanwhile, Rice Bowl moves on to the Reno Secret Mage with Nozstone, of course. Very, very interesting. So you see a lot of Death Rattle synergies in this Reno list with the Death Speaker Blackthorn. Illidari Inquisitor is also an interesting inclusion. It's very strong in Standard, but we don't see it much in Wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of an 8 damage on a stick thing, which in Wild, you don't usually get to turn 8.
Yeah, it's slow in Wild, interestingly.
Yeah, but maybe it's good in this matchup. I mean, especially against the Secret Reno Mage. I mean, you could go the distance, definitely.
Yep.
So.
And with a bit of a dead draw, K1 Rice Bowl doesn't have the greatest hand here.
Yeah, with 2 of those direct damage sources with the Fireball and the Clad Prince, that's not necessarily what you'd like to have to develop in your early turns. So.
Gonna coin out the Razorpin Beastmaster.
I like this, just getting some tempo out on the board. If they don't respond to it, you could follow up with Acrobatics.
Yep, and it gets something from his hand now that they have a Blood Mage Thalnos. Rips the counter spell. Could block the Acrobatics. It does. Woo! Spicy.
I don't know if that's that huge, just because he has the curve from Kayn into Ziliax, which is just so great, but... Drops the Cabal Crystal Runner.
Yeah, if he wants to drop Kane Sun Fury here, it's gonna die.
Oh, I think you gotta drop the
The Renowned, yes. All right, you get 2 1/1s out of it.
Yeah, it's good enough.
Not a great hand for Rice Bowl.
Maybe you just ping and pass. I mean, you don't really want to give up with the resources you have in your hand like this. Plays the
Decides to
Dawn
freeze.
Grass.
Yeah.
Does he just want to clear with Thalnos and a MO and a hero power? No?
No, he just wants to draw.
Runs out on me.
All right, works to clean up.
Yeah, establishing a little bit more board presence with the scientists
Here
cleaning
comes
up with the ping.
Maniac.
Pushes 4 more damage to face. We see the Reno in Rice Bowl's hand, so might be a little ways before he gets that lethal setup, but
Oh, and that's exactly what he wants to see. An ice block to guarantee a permanent secret.
yeah. Draws Spectral Sight for
I
2
think we're
defender.
gonna see the Bad Luck Albatross here to turn off the Reno if he can get it.
Maybe you just drop the Nos. I mean,
Just drops
yeah.
the Nos for the pure strength. Well said. Speak of the devil.
We might see a Nos right back. I mean, hey. Devolving into your own Nos doesn't seem too bad, you know?
And that secret up right now is Flame Ward. Yeah.
Maybe you save the devolving just to
He's
get around
saving
any
it.
taunts. Yeah, good call.
With Reno in hand, he's not worried about the 8 chip damage either. 8 trades into 8, and here's Curtis Ashfallen who's going to clear that off. And there's the Bad Luck Albatross. Now we're going to see the Devolving Missiles.
I gotta say, I've never seen that interaction where Kutris attacks twice, but good call.
It's a rare one, but it's one I've seen before.
Sage
There's
off the top is
Sage.
huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Just
We
getting
still
more
have to see
resources.
the Devolving Missiles and hope 1 of 3 hits the bird. Yep, easy. Easy. A 4-3 is, it's fine. Shipping it.
Just standard tempo play here.
Oh,
Push and face.
overplays into the Flame Ward.
Hey, in Nozstone, there's not enough time to check the deck list. Sometimes you don't see that your opponent brought it.
Yep, here comes Reno. And an inconspicuous rider. Oh, he decides against it, actually. Wouldn't be surprised if we see the Relicologist here to push his max damage, no?
Yeah, I think it's just so difficult to gauge
No,
what the
here
Demon
comes.
Hunter has at this point because of a lack of experience, but I don't know.
It's a pretty significant board, all things considered. Illidari Studies. Gonna draw some cards? Oh, boy.
Ooh, Taking Abomination could clear
That
the
is
board if
bad,
it finds a way to
yeah.
kill it. Ooh, Fell Rattler will do it. Instead goes for the card too. Gotcha.
Draws 3 cards off of the Rigged Fair game. There's Zephyrus and a Medivh's Valet, but he has no secrets left in play, but he has an ice block in hand. I kind of think you ping your own... it doesn't matter. Alright.
Yeah, it's a tough decision there. Developing with the Ticking Abomination still on board, but I guess you've just got to
Yeah.
push as much face damage as possible.
Wouldn't be surprised to see Mr. Python face tank the Ticking Abomination here. Oh, interesting. Sets up for the Illidari.
Fell Rattler clears up with the Ticking Abomination Death Rattle.
The secret is still the ice block. Zephyrus can deal with that, but it'll be a little bit of time. In
Yeah,
terms
so
of
Mr.
fatigue,
Python's got an interesting strategy here. Instead of trying to push tempo or lethal, he's more going on the control side, game
yes,
plan. He's got the two Nazoths still in hand as resources.
Rizeball sees that and is going for the Talon Forging off of the Zephyrus. Here comes Nazoth. That's a big board. Doesn't have a great way to deal with that.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Reno the Relicologist with Bran. That does clear
Doesn't have a great way
20
to deal with
damage
that.
off
He's
the board.
saying, I didn't see it, Brandon, man. That's deals with it. Time is going to be an interesting factor. I don't
I
think.
mean,
I
20
think
damage, that's
the
huge.
double
so-
half of the Cartoots are still going to be there, right?
Yeah,
that
it
was
looks
enough
like we've
time.
still got a lot left on the side of Python's board here, even after all that. And top decking the skull, wow.
Gotta still get through the
Wait, how much damage is this?
not lethal through the ice block, but enough to really put some problems into Rice Bowl. Cleans up very nicely.
Yeah, I mean, he pushes, what was that? 19 damage, 18 damage, so...
Flak Mage will clear. Sort of. Ice Deep Snap.
Oh, and he could just go Blackthorn Zephyr's Flare to clean up the rest of these secrets. I mean,
It's pretty good.
what a strong play.
Instead, Rice Bowl develops as wide as he can, pushes as much damage as he can. Oh my.
It's facing down 20 damage if he doesn't deal with the board, though.
That's a really, really strong Nazoth.
It's
Oh
a
my goodness.
it's a pop. Yeah, it
And
pops.
there is no Oasis ally.
It pops the block,
Yeah,
though.
he pops the block. Wow.
If he got off in time.
I think he did. Snap face with that, yeah.
Wow, good play.
There it is. Pop block. Well done.
So
I'm not sure how Rice Bowl recovers.
I don't think he does because Zarino's gone. He's gonna have to Kazakus into. He's gonna have to
The
Kazakus
ultimate
do a 5 pop.
Yeah.
That like does a lot. 4 to all is pretty good, honestly. It clears most of the board, but not.
Yep. Double bump. 4 to all.
He's gonna have to hit that and then play that. Yeah,
Correct. That was correctly ordered.
it was very well ordered.
And
But Zephyrus should still be lethal because of the
Yes.
minion being able to attack.
Yeah. Down to 7. That will give you
Inner Demon.
Inner Demon. Yeah.
Okay, Python
Or
takes it.
Wrath.
Yeah,
it is.
good clear by Rice Bowl there. I mean, he found the out that he needed.
Really
It's just that
well played.
Python had the game closer there with the Zephyrs. So,
Yeah, that was really well done. All right, pardon me 2 seconds. I'm gonna let you guys proceed. I'm gonna use the restroom. I apologize.
Okay.
yeah.
That
So,
happens.
so Rice Bowl takes it. Game 2. So Rice Bowl's up 2-0
No,
against Python.
No, Python's up. It's 1-1.
Is it?
Yeah, Python just won on his Demon Hunter.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's currently now 1-1.
Yeah, so Python still got his Jade Druid and the Kingsbane Rogue to get through, and Rice Bowl has his 2 decks of the Secret Reno Mage and the Highlander Priest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So game 3, it's going to be Python with his Jade Druid, Rice Bowl back again with his Secret Reno Mage. Python has the Oaken Summons. He has the Coin Jade Blossom into Summons line if he so chooses. We see the counterspell in the hand of Rice Bowl, which is the answer against that play, but
Yeah.
no real tempo to play with it, so...
Right, we're gonna go for a Coin Jade Blossom. So that'll get the Jade started. Next turn will be an Oaken Summons. Has to play the counterspell here. And Python should know to play around, should try to play around this, maybe throw out like a has to probably throw out the Jade, maybe either like the Idol or the Naturalize. Just gonna pike with that, but gonna go for the Fungal Fortunes. Fungal Fortunes is a bit of a risky play here. Does discard the Yogg-Saron. Kind of a risky, but he's got the Oaken Summon still here. There's no more counterspell left in the deck, so everything will get to be played out.
Yeah, and Mr. Python with just those 2 copies of Oaken Summons, I mean, he'll definitely pull the both of the Marauders, if not find the Vargoth into Marauder best play. So
Yeah.
it's a very strong start from Python that we're gonna see.
My goodness, I go away for 5 seconds to use the restroom and already on Kazaka's turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Here
Well,
comes the Oaken.
yeah, it comes an Oaken. It's a 5/10.
Still pretty big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Kazaka's potion is draw 2 and add 2 demons, so not
Alright.
really the best Kazaka's potion as an answer here.
Yeah, maybe gonna look at the Keysmith here. It does have Relicologist. So maybe there's a world in which you just ping off the minion, and I guess the second Oaken's coming in is just gonna make Relicologist not great here. Gonna tempo out the Occult
Tempo down
Conch.
4/4.
Yeah. We're gonna see another
Andrew
Oaken's here.
cannot feel good in this position.
Here's
And a
Vargoth.
Oh
Yeah.
no, this is it.
This is bad. Yeah, this is where Druid just takes over just by being Druid, essentially.
Yeah, at this point, I mean,
Maybe
even
Loa-
if you play
maybe-
Reno the Relicologist on curve, it's not enough to clear the board.
Yeah.
So.
It's very tricky.
Maybe you Relicologist try and clear some of the board off, but probably just gonna have forcing out a Fireball, maybe a possible, and just gonna ping off the 1/1. I saw Rice Bowl kind of looking at the Valet, probably just because it was drawn. But it's 25 armor, 29 health. Sorry, 26 armor, 29 health for this Druid versus Mage who's
Very
sitting at
tricky so
15.
far. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not good.
Well,
Ooh, the
Varden's-
Varden's
Varden's good. Varden's
huge.
good.
Temples out the valet.
Yeah.
Does he? Ooh, it looked like he
That
was
delays
thinking
the
about it.
lethal by just a turn, and I think with the resources that we see in Python's hand that are all reactive, none of them proactive or dealing damage, that Varden top deck might be the difference maker here.
Might save the game, yes.
Yeah, it could. I still think that you will just go for like a naturalized play here just to draw more stuff. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, good night.
Yeah, both minions
I don't
dying.
know.
Python and then Python's forcing a lot of draws on this mage who's gonna overdraw a bunch.
You only overdraw, I think it's just 1 card? Because he only had
trying to
5
look
cards
at
in
it,
his
yeah.
hand, so...
There's Reno actually. Luck of the draw.
It's rid of the Reno, so that's
Best freaking burn. but
that's
I'm
the
not
best
sure-
bird in the deck. Yeah, it'll burn a card on this draw too. Devolving Missiles, Arcanologist plate picks up Ruins.
So this will give him ruin. Yes.
This will give him Shadow Word Ruin. He has to get it and play it.
But see, looking at Mr.
He gets
Python's
it.
hand, this is kind of what Rice Bowl needs. The time to rebuild.
Yeah, the good.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the deck list here for the Secret Mage to see if it has any long-term, like, I don't know, development that I could have to surmount some big board against this Jade Druid, but it might just be throwing everything on board and seeing what sticks.
Yeah, Relicologist is gonna come out, and this is starting to look like a turnaround possibly for this deck. The Jade Idols eventually will start getting shuffled in and make it a lot more difficult if it gets that late. The lack of Reno is a bit of a concern, but if this Druid can't get to attacking this mage, then there's really nothing left.
It's not strong schools though.
I guess you go for Poison Seed's Plague here. It's a very good play. Triggers the Netherwind. Gets a cane, so
It ignores taunt.
ignores taunt. But he has to, but it
Wow.
doesn't, but it's,
Why?
so
That's still hilarious.
it is very hilarious, and I'm sure Poison Seeds will potentially get played next turn again. But there is no real way to capitalize on it per se. There is
Well,
just
he can-
there's enough secrets to just kind of deal with it. Like 2 secrets, and you can just kind of he's gonna end up attacking into things anyways, regardless.
Yeah,
But he will get to push some damage
Yes.
because you can't ignore all of them. I guess you can, because you can ignore a lot of them. I wouldn't. I like leaving a couple up, but just not enough for the cane
Draws
to
3
matter.
Fungal Fortunes.
Starfall's big here.
Oh, Starfall. Loses the Acera, which is actually huge.
That is huge, but he's gonna go for the
Double
deal
Starfall
2
will clear it.
twice. So that's good.
Yeah, but now he's got no Ysera, no Yogg-Saron. I mean, He's only got 4 cards left. Jades are not going to get there, at least at this current point in the
He's got
game.
to
So
absolutely find a way to use them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look at the 4 cards left in his deck.
You're
It's got to be another Starfall, another Solar Eclipse, I think, and then 2 Spellstones.
Really, block
I mean,
is really a block being found would probably be close to shutting out the game potentially.
Python has moved from being in a commanding position to being on the back foot here.
Yeah, he honestly doesn't have a good way to clear without playing a second Seeds. He wants to wait for the board to get bigger and a little bit bigger to go for Seed Starfall to clear off, to go for a big board and clear it. So we'll have to see how he navigates that. Meanwhile, Rice Bowl's hovering over Bran. I'm not sure what he would play with Bran. Maybe Bran Cloud here?
Locks him out with Loatheb.
Okay, it goes Loatheb lockout, and that's really nice because he'll be pushing a lot of damage this turn. He'll be almost knocking out all of the armor of this Druid, leaving Python in a pretty undesirable position, not able to really do anything but just armor up. Pretty much just play a not as good armor up as the Druid.
yeah, and I mean,
I think you picked
the J Druid,
probably
for what it's worth, it had a good
Bender.
chance in this matchup. Discarding both the Ysera and the Yogg-Saron from the Fungal Fortune is definitely
I mean,
a huge
it's just got to be like Spreading Plague or something to hope, because the board is locked, so it'll keep him alive for a few more turns. But I don't know if there's anything else that could really happen here.
The only line I could see that would be a huge difference maker here is you go Poison Seeds into Spreading Plague, and you'd have to find that Nature Studies into Branching Paths or something to buff the board.
But the Nature Studies was used for a Solar, so
yeah, he didn't find anything. So
yeah, he's just gonna play the Plague though. That'll be a full board of 1/5s for Rice Bowl to deal with. Doesn't really have anything else to play, and his minions, he can ping off one of his minions to play something.
I'd like to remind you guys, though, this game could be a lot closer just because of that Varden Dawn Grasp denying.
The other thing is that the mage is milling. The mage is gonna mill out almost, and he realizes it.
Wow.
The rigged fair game costed him the game because he went too far into fatigue.
Wait, I didn't see that. You gotta explain what happened. What happened?
The rigged fair game triggered, and he conceded because he didn't probably have enough gas to get there with the Druid having all the taunts in the way. So he just conceded. I mean, I don't know if I
did not see that coming.
He milled down to 7 health. So yeah, I don't think he was gonna get there in time with the Spreading Plague up.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, even if you trigger Ice Block, the next milled fatigue damage takes it. So, wow. All right, so I guess this series is going a little longer.
Yes.
So
we have the Arena Secret Mage against the Kingsbane, and this time we get the prep into the raiding party on 1 with the Deadly Poison and the Dread Corsair in hand. Ooh, this is looking.
This is not a good. From what I know, Kingsbane is pretty good into mage decks when this happens. So, looking at a very explosive start here for Mr. Python.
I mean, that could have been the difference maker for the whole series. Now that the Jade Druids got by, you got your Kingsbane against this Reno Secret Mage and the Reno Priest, which, I mean, you got to be thinking you'll get at least one of those two. So.
Coins out the Kirin Tor with an Oasis ally behind it.
Maybe you just ignore the mage then, knowing that your opponent has that Oasis ally, but
it's potentially a good play. He's thinking about face tanking it. Decides instead to ship it. Let's go.
Corsair doesn't get the doesn't go for the thing. I mean, I guess in case of a board clear, he at least would have the maybe the deckhand to trigger the Tinks next turn, the Tinkerer. Whoa, that was really weird.
Patches bug.
Is that a
Patches bug?
Wow.
They all hit into the patch.
It's a pretty clear indicator there.
Yeah, I forgot about the Patches bug. The default was hitting the Patches, which was in the deck for us, but in the play for them.
Yeah.
It looks like it hit just the patches 3 times. I
Yeah,
mean,
it did. That's actually like terrible.
okay,
So yeah,
getting
I'll have
back
the
into the game
match
here.
pulled up shortly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you got it. Yeah, it looks like it hit patches a bunch. Cutting Class is played by Mr. Python after a secret passage. And it's all right. Hold on. Let me find here. Starting to
Yeah,
stabilize. Rice Bowl is starting to stabilize. Rig Fair Game is up as a secret. Also, Oasis Ally is still up.
Yeah, if Mr. Python attacks into a minion at all this game, I'd be very surprised. He has enough gas where he probably doesn't need to worry about that anymore. He can just ship everything face. He has lethal damage represented here. Is an Ice Block up? I believe an Ice Block probably is not up if you said it was allies, Oasis Ally, and Rig Fair Game. And Plunderer is able to clear up the 4-1, which means the biggest source of damage is gone. So full clear here, but I don't...
We see lethal here with the South Sea Deckhand.
Yeah, South Sea Deckhand with the weapon. We do see lethal, and I think...
Fair Game, Oasis Ally, Counterspell. No, that's lethal.
That's full lethal. Yeah, he's gonna attack, and then he's gonna ship out the haha. He's really using all of his...
Python.
He's putting his show against his teammate. Dang. Yeah. Rice Bowl,
Good showing by
unfortunately unable to take it. So there we go. Python takes the match. 3-1. We have
Fascinating.
We have our first semifinals match, and if the other one isn't done yet, I will yeah, the other one hasn't quite been decided yet, so we're gonna probably hop and just let Mr. Python and Hazer go ahead and play once they're reported.
Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like Quake Lord and For Christ are still playing their quarterfinals, so it's the last match to be decided for the quarters.
Yeah. Yeah, we could potentially hop into that match, but I think it'll be better just to move on into the semis.
Yeah, no, agreed. So
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, so once it gets... I'll get... I will be able to keep Mr. Python's decks as is. And I'll just put Hazer's decks up on the screen.
yeah, so Hazer's got his Reno Priest with a couple extra funny notable additions. He's got the Curious Glimmerroot in there. He's got Archbishop Benedictus. He's got Chameleos. He's got Thoughtsteal. So a little bit of spice here for Hazer.
That is a tremendous amount of spice. Don't undersell it, Jailstorm. That is a humongous amount of spice. Benedictus? Oh my goodness.
If that's Hazer.
You were the one who said it too.
I
You
mean,
were expecting spice from Hazer, and here we are.
Yeah.
Hey,
We know Hazer.
I mean,
Hazer likes some spice.
Agreed. Looking at the other decks in the list, he's got a oh wow, he's got a Shudderwalk Shaman with Skulking Geist, specifically against the Jade Druid that Mr. Python has. So a good tech card in that matchup.
Yeah, just to prevent the Jades. Got it.
He also has a Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage. It's got Mutanus. This looks like it's pretty standard compared to the Reno Priest, which has more notable additions. And then finally, he's just got that odd Paladin. So.
Oh, okay. Man, the list on Battlefy not being in order of class throws me off so hard when I make. Because you it puts you in all sorts of different directions. Okay, I'm gonna have them up on screen shortly. The players will get everything set up, and then I will get them playing.
Yeah, it looks like they're just preparing the battle now. I'm trying to refresh to see if bans have gone through.
Okay, sounds good.
Brackets.
Yeah, I don't know if I assume Hazer added me. Yeah, he did. No bans so far. I can guess that Hazer's not banning the Druid.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I would definitely expect him to probably ban either Kingsbane or hand buff.
Yeah, I could see him banning the Kingsbane. The hand buff just has a little bit of better matchups with
Gotcha.
I don't know, his own odd paladin. The shaman actually
Mhm.
does pretty well against it.
Yeah, makes sense. So I think it'll be a hand buff ban.
Yeah, we'll see. And it looks like his Kingsbane was banned, and Hazer's Odd Paladin was also banned. So
Okay, yeah, I have them both. I had told Mr. Pythons they can play. I will catch up.
Perfect. Let's get some, my friends.
yeah,
So
some
Hazer,
more,
so Hazer will
some more
Hazer.
fast action.
Yeah, so Hazer will send you guys, spec invites when they get in game. And if not, and if not, I can just stream it to Discord.
I think I'm already friends with Hazer.
Okay, cool.
He said smugly.
Well,
I see an eyeball from Python here.
Oh, nice. Perfect.
I don't see one from Hazer, so he might have his spectate turned off.
yeah, he probably does. He said he's gonna send an invite.
Oh, perfect.
Okay,
I am determined to
got
Let's
it.
go on to
Okay.
Python then on the south side. Hazer has invited me to spectate the game. How generous.
Thank you, Hazer.
My invite.
Okay,
We have
so game one.
Hazer's Shaman and Mr. Python's Demon Hunter. Ooh. Let's
Yeah,
go.
these are two pretty mid-range decks. I mean,
Let's go. This is spicy.
yeah, this is definitely going to be a fun one.
Oh, did I
mean,
not? Oh, I didn't change the name.
it looks like he plays Shudderwock just for tempo, it seems. Maybe some draw.
Yeah,
but-
exactly. In the control shaman archetype that Hazer's running here, it's a reproc for the OG N'Zoth mostly and other sort of tempo stuff. It's a hard control list.
Okay, okay.
It's not as typical of a recursion Shutterwalk deck as people would like to play as like a combo style. This is a hard control deck.
Gotcha. The early ice fishing is so nice. Doesn't find the Toxfin for the combo with Flurgle, but just gets two of those Murlocs.
Oh! Almost hit the OG N'Zoth.
Yeah, that would have been pretty huge. I mean, just denying the N'Zoth
Devolve.
battle cry in the future too.
Good
But
devolve. Slam stuff in. This is going to be fairly challenging, I think, for Mr. Python. The control tools that Hazer has in this shaman list are significant. It's gonna be a challenge, I think.
yeah, I'm wondering if Zephyrus into Jiraxis is gonna be a difference here, or a difference maker here at all. But I mean, we're gonna see the skull here. The skull's gonna get some action going for the Demon Hunter. So finds Nas, finds Kurtrus, finds Thalnos, drops the Thalnos.
There's the Cartoon Defender. I mean, with the tools that Hazer has, I'm skeptical of Demon Hunter's chances, but Mr. Python has the opportunity to prove us wrong.
Finds the Zephyrs. I mean,
Ooh, Death Speaker Blackcrawler on curve though. Consume magic on the Cartoon Defender? No?
interesting that you'd go for it on the Kartut and not the tail
Oh.
end. But
I think I see what he's doing. Just wants to pure clear. Guess that's okay. Tempo's out the 8-8.
yeah, I guess this develops a little bit more board, but
Here's
I mean-
Nutanis. Ooh. Solid
The
hit.
big one to pull. Big battle cry to deny.
Not in N'Zoth, but it's the next best thing. There's the other N'Zoth.
No, so we've got
So he's got him lined
we've
up
got
now.
Nozstone and Nuzzoth on in the hand.
Interestingly, though, thinking about the N'Zoth, the initial board with Bad Luck Albatross was devolved. How much good is in the N'Zoth pool? You know, considering that this new Nozstone will probably die and end up in the pool. Like, how much beyond it is in there?
Currently,
Yeah.
I don't really
mean-
know. It looks like. Oh
Yeah,
well,
I
the renowned
wonder,
performer
but-
will be performer isn't. Sorry, it's not. That's in the that's in the old god. That's in the original Nozstone pool.
I think we're gonna see Talon here. Yep.
I mean,
That's some pressure.
Enough tempo to keep Hazer on his toes.
yeah,
Is
Nuzzoth
Revenant
isn't gonna
in
be super useful currently, obviously, but it will. I mean, it would bring back an 8/8 if it does. If it is played, Earthshock probably gonna remove the Earthshock's probably gonna remove the Talon damage,
That's
Talon effect.
excellent card to find.
Yeah, there is a lot of good stuff here on the side of Python
Kane
still.
pushes damage.
Yeah, Kane pushes damage. Kane and Applebomb can help push some damage and force it to be dealt with.
7, 10, 11 damage being pushed,
Yeah.
putting him to 11.
Yeah, you just got a scheme here from Hazer, right? This is the turn when you gotta drop it.
Yeah. Very likely. He has no way to... Unless he finds another way to deal with the board. Otherwise, it's probably a hack of this
Follow
scheme.
it up with Lotheb, maybe?
Well, no, I think he's just gonna rip the 10 damage scheme, clear it up.
Yeah. We're getting very close now to like N'Zoth. I mean, N'Zoth being dropped would just be really good.
Yeah, I
N'Zoth the
think we'll keep the
Corrupted.
COG N'Zoth.
N'Zoth the Corruptor is a big drop here. It's a lot of things back. It allows the removal of this Loetheb so that I mean there's no return effects currently for Hazer. So that'll be fine just to be removed. Really Python with the good
What's
ordering
Hater's
there.
own N'Zoth pool.
Oh, and he finds the second devolve there.
Yeah, he
He
finds
doesn't have his Tox Fin though.
Yeah, no Toxfin for it is kind of unfortunate.
Can you
Doesn't have a lot
imagine
of
if he
time to think
discovers
about
the
it.
Toxfin here?
Could get a Blazing Envelope
Invitation.
for it, but gets a life drinker instead. Evolves the board. Nothing to write home about, but not enough to stop lethal. It's just lethal on board. That's game.
Yeah, I mean,
Big game.
Mr.
from a number
Python.
of ways, we see Zephyr in hand, but he's got lethal on board, so...
Yeah.
There
Alright,
it is.
Mr. Python taking it game 1 with his odd Demon Hunter. I think he's 2-0 with that so far, so...
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah, his Death Rattle,
That,
his Reno Death Rattle Demon Hunter is putting in some work.
That was not what I was expecting, but it works out quite nicely for Mr. Python, going up 1-0 in the series against Hazer here. Wow.
Yeah. There's still obviously plenty of Hearthstone left to play in this match. I have to check the bans. Unless someone else has checked them for me.
I think Mr. Python's Kingbane Rogue was banned, and then Hazer's Odd Pally was banned.
Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Python left with just his Hand Buff Paladin and Jade Druid against Hazer's decks.
I mean,
And that's exactly what we see here, the Hand Buff Paladin.
the tough deck, I think that Python probably recognizes that the maybe his Druid's gonna have a hard time getting through, potentially. So I think he wants to get probably everything else through.
Interesting that he goes with the Reno Shaman, or not the Reno Shaman, the Shutterwalk Shaman again. Last game, the mid-range tempo of the Demon Hunter was just too much, and Handbuff excels at that, so we might see a similar story this game.
Yeah.
We shall absolutely see.
Too early Brooms isn't necessarily all that great, but
Yeah, right? Against the reactive deck.
finds 2 Gibber cards,
Yeah,
Gibber
finds
and Gibberling.
Gibbers. There's a broom. Might as well rip the rat.
You coin the Pride here? No, I guess not.
No, he's gonna have to play a little bit slower. You probably want to coin out the Glowstone on 4. And you'll just play the Pride on 3. A lot of what
Oh, Devolve is good in this matchup.
Devolving is very good in this matchup, or Devolve and Devolving Missiles are both pretty good in this matchup. Drawing the second Pride is really nice. Yeah, but he does opt to just play the one that was drawn last turn.
Gonna devolve it.
Really devolve there. I'm not a huge fan of that, but I guess it's fine.
It stops the Silence Pride from going off, so I think it's probably okay, considering he has a second one floating around.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's not. Now you can't remove it with anything, but the Earth Revenant does clear up the board without anything else going off. This is really nice, kind of early tempo for this. For Hazer, he has a decent chunk of damage. It's, we do
tall minions.
Yeah, they're bulky. They're hard. They're gonna be hard to get through. The Glowstone only does so much, but I know there is double Grime Street, so we are gonna get some big minions coming in soon enough.
We're gonna see quite a swing turn on the side of Mr. Python right here with both those double outfitters as well.
We get Crystology would have been a really nice pickup there as well, but we get none of that. We just get double Grime Street outfitter with a Mean Street Marshal and a broomstick. So we're gonna get some trades going on here. Trade off everything. Leave just the 2/6 and the 1/3 left. Earth Revenant again is gonna be really good pickup.
Yeah, that 2/6 taunt with the 1 mana or the 1 damage clear for the opposing minions. I mean, into these boards, it's been fantastic. Those 2 turns in a row. So
yeah, so Marshall will draw a card. Leroy in hand.
Still, though, a full life grip for Hazer. It's going to be very tough for Mr. Python to dent that without a significant plan of attack over several turns. 7/6 is a big minion for a one cost minion, but taunts aplenty.
yeah, we see the 3 charge cards in the hand of Mr. Python here, but you gotta get through those taunts first. I mean,
this is going to be tricky.
And now that both brooms are out of your hand and deck, it's gonna be a little bit tougher to swing back the board. But
yeah, this Gibberer is interesting. You can create. I assume it keeps the buffs. Maybe I don't know much about Feral Gibberer's effects.
Let's see here.
It's just
it keeps the
it says
buff,
add a copy, so it could just be a normal copy of the card, but it could be also like
I haven't played
Serenite.
with that before in this situation. You're right.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Perhaps we'll have a chance to see it.
The Loetheb is a good pickup here. We do see Crystology come out though. We're gonna get our Crab Rider and Somuro. Somuro, no buffs on it, isn't gonna be the greatest card. Gonna pull out the Loetheb. But that's not.
It's a 5/5.
It's a 5/5, so it is pretty big board. It's a pretty big card for the board. Need to try and doesn't remove the other Lotheb, so that's
How much
just
of that scheme? That scheme is 10. That could full clear if he pushes face.
yeah.
Chooses not to though.
We're just gonna get the Corruptor out here.
I mean,
yeah, I like this N'Zoth play. This is a good enough tempo,
That's
and you could
gotta
save
be-
this.
That's gotta be
after
just
all
about
this.
game, right? Samuro, he didn't even buff it. He's gonna Conviction. Oh, this is a lot of the board cleared now.
That's
Full board clear.
Yeah, but you still got the 2 defenders.
Oh, okay. Not sure how much he actually got off of that because we couldn't see it, but he only got one thing off. Arch and Horse Rider it was a Horse Rider and a minion. He didn't get to
didn't even have
attack
time
with
to attack the
anything.
Horse Rider or the Nozstone.
Wow,
missing
that's bad.
missing the 2/1 is pretty rough. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of
And so-
animations.
Here you see the value of
The scheme is gonna just destroy this
scheme's going to
board.
do value. The Shutterwalk value in a deck like this will completely replay the OG N'Zoth.
Yes. So
Oh, and there's that combo.
really,
anyway.
it's gonna
This
come
is-
down to order. He's gonna be looking to just kind of. He's probably gonna be looking to. I guess he doesn't really have a way to burst them down from 30 at this point. He has to chunk down, and he really has to hope that he can get Chillblade.
And
Chillblade.
Shutterwalk will just replay the N'Zoth, and that will be that.
Yeah, this should be the
Yeah.
game. He rats out. It rats the Leroy. Yeah, all these effects going off is just gonna lock the game out. This should be Hazer.
There's
Tying.
no way you can get by those.
This should be Hazer getting a win here and tying the series up. Yeah.
Yeah,
He
so
just
tying it up
concedes.
1-1.
Yeah.
Hazer's just left with his Reno Priest and his Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage.
More Luna's
Both of
Pocket.
which are
Yay.
pretty decent into the Jade Druid, so I like Hazer's chances here.
Yeah, the priest having the Geist, pretty good. Otherwise, it would.
Alright, Python goes back.
Yeah,
Alright,
it's not the priest that has the Geist. It was
Oh,
the shaman that actually
Shaman
had the
that had the
Geist. But
Geist. Okay, never mind.
Correct.
But it's still pretty good into it, right?
I will fight with honor.
yeah,
I don't know that matchup too well. I haven't played a whole lot of Jade Druid, and I haven't played Raza Priest into it, so I'm
it's
interested to
pretty
see
good
this.
into Raza Priest. Sometimes if the Jade Druid just stacks armor as much as possible, they can kind of outlast the priest in some bad draw situations, but we actually don't see any of the branching paths on the side of Mr. Python, so he doesn't even have that armor gain.
Oh wow, that's right. We did see that last game. There's no branching paths in his deck. He went through most of his deck and he didn't have it, so we have Chameleos here.
Yeah.
So Chameleos is turning into
Chameleos.
various things. Chameleos is currently a Leroy Jenkins, which is hilarious.
Scouting report.
Yeah, he's definitely going to anticipate a quick push here at the end of Mr. Python's development here.
Yeah.
And he sees the conviction too. I mean, that's got to be scary.
Oh, Chameleos becomes cards in his opponent's hand. That's interesting. Now he knows what's in the hand. See. He won't need Chameleos to see the pride that's coming down on the board. This Hampa Pal is getting some good damage in, and conviction, double conviction in hand is very strong. We're gonna see the coin out of Raza, the chain, so we'll be able to heal every turn regardless. We're getting close here, maybe? I don't really know. I don't know damage
Mr.
calc
Python
for
at this
this.
point is going to need to burst it down, and
Yeah.
that's certainly doable. It's certainly doable, and that's what he's going to have to set up for.
Yeah, conviction at this point did 12 from hand. It's nowhere close to lethal, but
Yeah, damage. Yeah, figuring out damage eventually will be important, especially having buffed up Chillblade, Argent. Like, it's gonna be possible to get some really large amounts of damage out in the later game.
yeah.
But for now, not enough. He's sitting with 9 on board, 23 hand. Talon's gonna come down, and it's gonna be a thorn in the side of Mr. Python.
Yeah, and Mr. Python is not actually too sure what that Tailend's going to draw. Just because it could draw the Nozstone, it could draw the Benedictus, it could draw Reno.
And there's
mean-
our Archbishop.
He draws Archbishop.
Yeah, so it's
Archbishop
actually going to
is so
draw none of
interesting.
those.
I have not seen an Archbishop deck in quite a while.
In a hot minute.
Yeah.
Little pressure here by the side of Mr. Python. Dirty Rat pulls the Horse Rider.
Excellent Hysteria
That's an
target.
excellent Hysteria play, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so it puts
Yeah,
the
well,
rat
good
down
enough.
to 2, but he's just gonna use heal on it. Okay. Crystology, instantly to get the
there's Samuro.
Samuro and a Grime Street. You could even just go Grime Street. Yeah, just gonna get some good damage out here. Gonna go for the
Maybe Broom
broomstick.
too,
Yeah.
Yep.
Gonna
Push
be able
as
to
much damage as possible.
push all 4 damage.
I
Yeah.
think we're looking at a scream here, but
Or all 3 damage on board.
7, so 6, 11, 17. He's a little short on lethal at 8 mana.
Yeah. Right, it is a little just short.
Yeah, he needs about one more
It's
mana.
forced, yeah, this does force the scream out like you said. Hazer heals up to 21.
I think he might still push it. Oh, we see Reno in hand.
Oh, Lothep's gonna lock it out. Yeah. I mean,
We'll
he's
definitely
got
see
the
Reno next turn then.
he has the Shadow Word Death, but I think the math if he plays the Horse Rider is just perfect. So, oh, he doesn't. He goes for the Hero Power. You still gotta play the Death here, but actually now that's what is that? 20, 21, 20, and he has 23 health, so still 2 off. Is that right?
Yeah, through the Reno. So
He might do it with the Leroy instead, but he opts for the, he'll just do it with the Chill Blade. Okay.
I thought this was 2 off. Let's see.
I don't think it's lethal damage, but it might close.
No,
oh,
it
is.
is.
It is. Yeah.
oh, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Mr.
Oh.
Python taking game 3.
Spark's flying.
He's just got his J Druid left.
Chat.
So.
Counting is for amateurs.
Yeah.
Just get him. Oh, already in for the Druid against the Priest. All right, all right, all right, all right.
Yeah.
This could last forever.
Yeah, so Druid's best game plan here is to get those naturalizes and those solar eclipse to try and burn Anduin, Raza, you know. I don't know. He actually doesn't have Spawn of Shadows in his priest deck, which is interesting.
It's a pure controls thief priest, yeah.
Yeah, so burning that Anduin, he's already got the Benedictus in hand, so you can't burn that. But yeah. Looking to take out the main value pieces from Hazer's deck.
Yes.
We're just waiting on Hazer's mulligan. So he throws everything, but he gets Lucia and he gets Madame Lazul with Palm Reading and Raza. So not a bad hand at all for Hazer here. Python sitting with maybe a less desirable hand, but does have some ramp and does have Fungal Fortune. Fortunes wasn't very kind to him last time. He might needs to find some.
I mean,
maybe get some better
you gotta
fortunes here.
rely on it.
Yeah, exactly. Last time
I wouldn't have been too surprised to see a coin Madame Lazul here just to keep your hand size low, but
There's an Oaken.
Oaken, Jade Idol, Ferocious. So very nice from very nice from Fungal Fortunes.
Oh my god.
I mean, you never take the Jade Idol, right?
This game will last for fucking ever.
So he picks Ferocious Howl, saves us a long game. Thank you,
Okay.
Hazer. We thank you.
Yeah.
Oaken Summon's coming out. Let's see what it pulls. Does it pull Vargoth? Pulls the 5/10
no
though.
Vargoth.
Does not pull Vargoth. That's not great. There is lots of ways to find cards to remove this, and one of them being that Shadow Word Death in the hand. He's got a Cloning Device. That's an interesting card. Takes a Ysera. Value.
Yeah, Cloning Device is just able to pick from such a select pool of minions that are in the Jade Druid there.
Exactly.
I mean, yeah, what a good pickup.
Owl Drawn. We're just gonna use the Greater Jasper Spellstone to remove 3/2 and then end the turn with actually Nature Studies first.
Ooh,
Picks another
Naturalize.
Naturalize. Get Raza here.
Drops the Raza.
There is 8 cards in hands, which means a Naturalize would
There's
mill.
Vargoth.
You could Vargoth natural. You can't really Vargoth Naturalize. There's nothing to.
You can't Vargoth Naturalize because or I guess you can,
Double
but
nat, yeah.
Does it?
yeah,
well,
you don't get the full value by playing.
Oh,
both of
he'll
the
he'll
Naturalizes,
destroy
but
his
it
own.
copies one.
He'll destroy his own Vargoth actually. So it'll trigger.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what he burns.
Burns Penance. Burns Thought Steal. So nothing too
And a Potion of
big.
Madness.
And a Potion of Madness. Nas the Eternal Blade. Second
So
Naturalize
not
in
really
hand
what you're
would
looking to
mill.
see, but
Second Naturalize will mill another 2 cards. Instead, we're gonna see.
I think you've got to save the naturalize at this point.
Yeah, you go for Jade Blossom here instead. Guidance, gonna look for 1 or 2 cards. Gonna take just the
weight.
guess the weight. No overloading. Thrive in the shadows. That's good. Gets a Holy Smite. Rat here does nothing, unfortunately, for Hazer, but now he knows there's. Now he gets now he gets information about no minions in hand for Mr. Python.
Yeah. Ooh, and the second naturalize, you got to run it here, right?
Ooh. There's the Yogg.
There's Yogg. Okins, okay. But just
I like the naturalize play here. I mean, you got to burn 3 more cards, but
Yeah, he's gonna Okins and he's just gonna double Nat here probably. Or maybe just single Nat.
it's got to be double here. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Saving it. There's the Reno.
Reno's burned, okay.
Here comes the other rat.
Rat is gonna get out the N'Zoth. Or sorry, the Yogg, the other old god.
Yeah, interesting read by Hazer there, and either that he picked up that top deck minion or this rat's coming down without a punish, so good play there.
Agreed.
I agree, yeah. Sarah the
Finds
Unleashed
the
wrong,
Sarah.
he just plays it right away. Could Naturalize, I don't think really does much of anything for milling. He's at 7 cards in hand. Would just fill the hand of this priest. Gonna get 1 attack and just remove. He's just gonna remove the one,
Oh, wow.
They're
It's
attacking
an
a lot
aggressive
of
hysteria
things.
there.
Does remove the Yogg, or take Yogg down to 1. Kazakus gets his Kazakus spell off.
He's going for a 10 cost. Interesting.
Transform all sheeps, give your minions +6.
Very little help from Mr. Python, but does get the 8/8 to put out there. Starts to ramp his Jades with the Blossom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now
Here's
Hazer
Overlord
can
on
drop
top
his
of
own
this.
Ysera the Unleashed right back if he so chooses.
Well, we know it's the Jasper Spellstones who takes it. Here
Easy
comes
guess.
Zephyrus.
He's gonna find the ruin here. Good call.
Easy.
Yeah, Ruin's huge here. I mean, as long as he removes all the minions, this, and even if he can find a way to put the Zeph back in his deck, like, Elucia here could be potentially pretty devastating. Just, like, dump.
And he finds no portals.
Like,
Wow.
if no portals being found is brutal. Now, do you just drop a Lucy here and just try to remove these 2? Just think what he has.
Here's Benedictus.
There's Archbishop Benedictus, which shuffles. Yeah. So he'll be taking the remainder of deck, including every portal. Every
But
portal
this is
now goes
huge
into the
because
deck.
he's also not copying any of those Jade Idols as well.
Yeah. So there's no Jade Idols in the deck, which is really good which is like pretty good for Python here.
Yeah, but with the Chameleos, you should still be able to get access to one of them eventually.
He has one in it. He has one right there from Chameleos. He just opted not to play it. He might Poison Seeds here, yeah. Poison Seeds Starfall.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. He'll
I mean, there's always the chance that Hazer just thinks he has one Jade Idol
that
already. in
Talon
his
didn't
deck.
draw a minion. There's no minions left in the deck.
Nope.
He might use Chameleos just to
Raise Dead
deal
off the
something else
top
maybe,
gets 2
so.
minions, no Zeph though. Gets Dirty Rat, gets Ysera Unleashed. There's now 14 portals
Oh,
in the deck of. There's now, I believe, 13 or 14 portals in the deck of Hazer. He's gonna be drawing dragons for a long time here. At this point, Python just wants to be pushing some damage as much as he can. There's there's such a large deck advantage for Hazer, but there's not a lot, maybe a lot of pressure in the deck. Does pick up the Scream. A Dirty Rat here will pick up nothing, as there is no more minions. There's the only stuff left is what everything's been played, so there's no minions left for any player. It's so interesting. This is just a game of spells from here on out.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
It's just gonna be
whoever
portals.
draws the better portals first.
It's gonna come down to the portals, like you said, yeah. And unfortunately for Python, if he keeps drawing them, oh, he's very fortunate. He needs to clear up board space for next turn. Honestly,
Dragons. Yeah.
yeah, he
In order
needs
to get portal value.
Yeah, that way he doesn't burn. Yeah, he has to get as much stuff out off the board. So we'll see that happen. He removes 2 minions.
Here comes some dragons.
Yeah, so here comes Dragon's probably a full. I would guess a full slate for Hazer here, but I'm not 100%.
It could very well be.
Although Lucia is playable, so that means that doesn't happen. If Lucia is playable, it means he
Caligos.
stops at some point. Caligos is big. Caligos is a free spell.
Free spells with the Mage Scribe.
Yeah, and Mage Scribe, this
Wow.
is really big. He can go for this Starfall. He can maybe just go for something like Starfall here. Just use the Chameleos.
Solar Eclipse.
Solar Eclipse played first. Wants to see what spells he got.
Is that
Clone-
power word replicate? No, not
Xerix,
necessarily.
Xerix, and a Mass.
Cloning Gallery.
Yeah. Gallery Priest, I've played that before. Against it before, it's not fun.
Good enough.
Yeah, this is really good board for Hazer, but I think it's going away. Portal. This is really unfortunate. Like, these portals take up so much time on your turn. Only draws 2.
Very
There's only
tricky for Python here.
2 portals left.
There's got to be a Seeds into Plague
Yep.
turn, yeah.
Seed Starfall. I don't think he got it off. The animations.
Oh, he didn't.
He didn't get it off the animations. So now the Kazakus potion is gonna make those minions very hard to kill. But he's not gonna rip it. He's just gonna go for a mass to draw. Gonna draw portals. See how many dragons we get here, because he's still sitting with a lot of portals in deck.
Yeah, and the fact that these portals are coming out in the Seeds is not to be seen in the hand of Mr. Python.
His
It's a
seeds are
tough
gone.
situation to be in.
His seeds are gone. He used both of them. He has no more poison seeds. He needed to get the poison seed Starfall off there. And now there's nothing but really just spreading plague and idols for the rest of the game. He's gonna have to rely on that while this.
Yeah, the idols I don't think are gonna get there.
I
just because-
honestly don't think they are either. I'm not even sure. I think he shuffled some idols in. He's got 2 more left in the deck. He's gonna naturalize the 12/12 here. Which is a smart play, but it actually draws Hazer Anduin. And this one he's gonna solar naturalize, so it's a Malg. Good Dawn.
He gets more portals too. I mean, this
Nightmare
is tough.
Malg.
This is an absolutely maddening.
And it looks like my tracker was showing that there's no more portals, but there are portals left. A lot of burns, but Anduin just comes in. It doesn't
Here
clear
comes Andy,
anything
yeah.
off the board. But at this point, it's just burning them down with pings. This druid can't deal with the amount of can't deal with the pings. There's only 3 cards left in deck, and there's a portal here, so the portal has to be good. And it's just Sarah Unleashed, but there is nothing else there. Just Jade Idol, just 2 Jade Idols left in deck. Gonna have to shuffle Jade Idols in. But like you said, I don't know if it gets there in the end, unfortunately for Mr. Python. But unfortunately for us, that might mean we get a game. 5.
With the
Well,
level
a
of
psychic
removal that
scream
Hazer
here
has,
just
it'd be very
does-
tough.
Yeah, I feel like a Psychic Scream here just about seals the game. I mean,
Do you want to shuffle in?
don't
Do you
know.
want to? I don't know if you want to shuffle another Ysera,
That's my
Ysera the
worry,
Unleashed into the deck.
It's Ysera the Dreamer, right?
Oh, is that the Dreamer? Never mind, that's just the Dreamer. That's not Unleashed. Never mind. He probably doesn't want to
Yeah,
shuffle
if
it
it was
in. He
Unleashed,
probably doesn't want to
definitely
shuffle
not,
it in
but-
anyways, honestly. I don't blame him for not wanting to shuffle it in.
Looks like he's killing it.
Yep, he's gonna Jasper Spellstone ping it. So everything is
Easy.
gone. There's 2 cards. There's only Jade Idols left in the deck of Mr. Python.
Looks like he missed one ping there in between the Starfall and the Spellstone, but good play
Yeah,
otherwise.
I don't think that's
Hazer
gonna
is doing a multiple level turn there. That required so many different actions, and in the Nozstone umbrella, he got so much done in that turn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna Jade Idol in. Oh,
Going all in.
he's gonna go for the bunch of idols here.
I
Yeah.
think he just screamed.
Yeah, now I think this gets.
Well, with the dragons, we'll see how many dragons he develops. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, you might not want to scream
Well,
if
I
there's
think-
like a dragon in, but it's just a Nethronomus. But you don't want to give this deck more minions really to play with.
No, he's instead going to
To remove as much as he can.
prioritize pings and using the rest of his spells.
Exactly.
It's like, you know your opponent has basically nothing at this point but idols. You can kind of plan your turns around that.
Correct.
I know you only have 15 seconds to develop a long-term game
Python
plan
is just
like
gonna be
that,
making
but,
a big Jade Idol every turn, and it's up to the priest to get through it. It's gonna be interesting. He is gonna have to obviously clear the minions, but that means he's not really going face.
Oh,
And
what dragon are we seeing here?
it is a
Koldara.
Koldara.
That's it.
Sweet titty biscuits.
if he could get the animation off in time, I mean,
Isn't that just like? Isn't that just
Giga
unlimited
lethal
pings?
if he has the time. Yeah.
the question is, does he get it off?
I don't think he gets
I
off
think
this
he needs to
turn,
clear.
but he's gonna get the portal off.
I mean, regardless, I think that
See how
just
many
about
he cut
seals
off.
the game.
This just seals the
but-
game off.
Fire
There's
Drake
no
there
way.
seals the game because how can Mr. Python remove it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would have even wouldn't have minded seeing the 8/8 into the 5/5, but yeah, there's no way.
Koldara Drake.
That was
Let's
dirty.
go.
The second to last dream portal, just giving him exactly what he needed there at the end.
Yeah, Hazer just has to be this J-Drew one more time. So we're gonna have another long one. We still have another semifinals and a finals left to watch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it
nice
comes
Jewish,
down
nice
to,
Jewish Owl and Seth are kindly waiting us.
So
Oh,
it
thank
comes
you to
down
them.
to the J Druid versus Hazer's Luna's Pocket Galaxy Mage.
Seems good.
So
Yeah.
I gotta be thinking with all the value that this LPG Mage has. I mean, it's got Barista Lynchin, it's got Potion Evolution, it's got Zola, it's got Bran.
It's gonna
I mean,
be tough. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna take quite a good Naturalize or Solar Eclipse and a Naturalize to mill some of these better cards from Hazer's deck.
100% agree.
Yeah, I agree as well. Yeah, so let's see. Amulet spell. Yeah, it's probably take another. Can go for a Jade Blossom next turn and ramp. But this is not a great hand for Mr. Python. He doesn't have token summons.
There's the summons.
Draws it. Okay, I'm mistaken.
Funny how that happens, right?
Well, yeah.
Seems that Druid always finds that card at the correct time.
And here it comes.
There's a pull. Pulls the injured Marauder.
Well, that'll suffice.
Yeah, that's a good card. Dirty Rat. Pulls nothing.
Nothing home, but certainly presents a defense.
It does, yes. Howl.
Rips the
Hero
ferocious
power.
Howl. Whoa. There's a Mutanus target if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, Mutanus is going to be very lucky this time around. That might be extremely difficult. And probably might end up forcing a
Big, yeah.
poison season. Oh,
I think he's just gonna pick Whispers, right?
yeah, I think it's Whisper.
guess.
Whisper of the old
I mean,
god.
It's not a great option.
There's still a few turns until then, so there's more time for Python to draw other minions, but there's no minion in his deck that he wants to get ratted,
out the
that he wants to
Whisper.
get Mutanus. Like, every single card, every single minion in his deck is obviously a specific purpose. A Tempo Lynchin.
Yep, just needs the board.
Yeah.
Ooh, if I were Python
Here's a
here, I would
mess.
not play that Wisps. I would have not done that. I mean, if you've got Solar Eclipse plus that +2/+2, I mean, that could be the difference maker to steal the game with a huge, I don't know, double Savage Roar. But I don't know. I'm just thinking if you've got to maximize all your odds here,
I mean,
getting a crazy
but
burst like
he's
that,
just pushing.
I'd
Sneaking
He's
close to lethal
he's
here.
pushing so much damage, and this mage does not have much to go with. He's gonna play Pocket Galaxy this turn or Mutanus. It just depends on what Hazer wants to play, but it's 9 damage, and there's lethal represented on board. No Leroy, no nothing.
Let's see, what does it pull?
It has to pull
It's
block.
going to
The
be
ice
either the ice
Block, it
block
pulls
or
block.
Pulls the
So-
it's
block.
just the block.
That's a
Okay.
big pickup. Sorry, I'm very excited over this match.
I
I
mean,
think
he
that's the
has
correct play
the
too, because he rips the loot. Yeah, we're looking at the exact same card. He has a Stargazer Luna.
So
I mean, it comes down
he
to the
needs,
top deck. If he top
he
decks a
needs
big spell,
Reno.
that's it.
Well, he needs
Yep.
Reno.
He's got a top deck, a 1-cost minion here.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
Yep, so he can start a Luna chain.
Oh,
Hopefully find Reno.
Stargazer Luna, yeah.
Yeah, Stargazer Luna, he's got a...
Kazakus,
finds
that
it.
could do it.
But Kazakis is not great because
I was
it's
looking to get a 1-pot.
You gotta go quick.
he's just
for
got to
one,
pick
yeah.
something. He's just got to pick.
There's the
Finds
2
the
AoE.
two.
2 AoE is huge, but it doesn't kill. Portolan doesn't do
Oh,
anything.
the Tortolan animation is gonna be too long.
It's gonna take
Freeze.
too long.
But that's still lethal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't have enough time. He's gonna face punch him down.
Wow.
And there's an artifact to the format. In any other condition, Hazer probably has the time to stabilize that turn, or at least find something else. In this case, he doesn't have the time, and Python can just punch him down for the lethal.
I mean, I'm impressed by that Wisps of the Old God. I was not thinking that the tempo provided by that would be the difference maker here.
It just did it, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Mage did not have the tools to beat that. If Mad Scientist pulled a I don't
That
know,
was a really
Flame
the
Ward or
Wisp.
something?
The Wisp pulled it because he wouldn't have enough tempo push without that. So great play by Python. But we're gonna go and have another semifinals match right now. We're gonna have Nice Jewish Owl versus Seth. So
X.
Yeah, so congrats to Mr. Python taking another close series.
yeah, so Python will be in the
very close.
finals.
Yeah, so next we've got For Christ and Nice Jewish Owl. And it looks like the bans for those are already in.
Yeah, they've been sitting for a while, so they've been troopers while they've been doing this stuff.
Okay.
And Owl's been waiting a very, very long time because he played like a match originally at the start of this.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the decks. Looking at Nice Jewish Owl's decks, he's brought the Mozaki Mage. Interestingly enough, that's gotten through a couple times. He's got his Odd Warrior, pretty standard. And then he's got that Odd Demon Hunter as well, with I think 20 or so 1-drops. So
Yeah, and with the Paladin band, then, correct?
yes.
Yeah, the
his
Tax Paladin, is it? Wow.
yeah, Call to Arms Tax Pally. So
Fascinating.
without the tax, of course.
Yes. Well, yes. On the other side, for Christ here, Seth has had his LPG Mage banned. The remaining
Okay.
decks are the Dead Man's Hand Nozstone Warrior. Woo!
Pog.
Let's go.
DMH, let's go.
Yeah, right. We have an Odd Paladin. Makes sense. And we have a Dark Glare Warlock, the first of which that actually we've had the pleasure of casting here. So interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah, no, this is
I'll get-
definitely
I'll
going
get
to
the
be
players-
an interesting series. I mean,
I'm not even gonna bother setting them up completely. We're just gonna get them going because I wanna give them the go ahead.
Let's get it.
yeah.
So everything will be changed on this screen when we come back from there. So Nice Jewish Owl is going to be first for me to spectate, and then for Christ will be second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know what we're going to see first by both of these players. The matchups are quite polarized, I think, for a number of these. Like
Yeah.
the
Hmm.
Demon Hunter wins against the Dark Glare, and it does pretty bad into the other two. But
I would think if I were Seth, I might be pulling up the Odd Paladin first. It might lose to the Mozaki depending on how things go, but then the timer is an issue there. But with Lothraxian, it should still win against the Odd Warrior, and it should certainly be competitive against the Odd Demon Hunter. So wouldn't be surprised to see Seth pull up his Odd Paladin first.
perhaps I see eyeballs, so I'm going to jump into the match here. But I
Let's
think
get
it's
it.
a noteworthy mention that the Dead Man's Hand Warrior basically auto wins against the Odd Warrior. So,
Yeah.
okay,
Oh, and
so
in fact, we have the Dead Man's Hand against the Mozaki. All right.
he's got two of those dirty rats already. All he needs is removal against the targets he's looking to hit, and
Yep.
he's pretty set. Just setting up Biscuit Ping. He's already got the Incanter's flow down, so
Yep. In this case, we're just waiting. We are just going to wait until the Talon comes down, and if Seth here for Christ has the ability to deal with it. Or I should say, the stuff that comes out of the back end of it.
ooh, and Talon is not what you want to pull.
No, but it's actually an interesting play because he has a second rat in hand, and it might give Jewish Owl a false sense of security, thinking
That's
that
true.
he's dealt with at least some of the concern here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised if we saw that Frost Nova coming down here, but decides to go for the mysteries.
He might be able to. So we're 3, 4. I think he can kill the Mozaki if he rats it.
I think so too.
He's got to pop the thing first. No, he's going to leave it on board.
Oh, and it would have pulled the Nosdormu actually, not the Mozaki.
Yeah.
That's right.
That is not A+. Yeah. Putting pressure on instead, then. This is getting increasingly tricky for Seth.
Yeah, so that
It's
little
hard.
note about the matchup came into play with Talon pulling the Nos.
Yeah,
Interesting.
well said. Well said. Well said.
I mean, he's got the answer with Ankar and a Blood Boil Brute, but at this point, your disruption's kind of gone. So tough position for the DMH Warrior here.
Yep, and with the ice block up, it's going to be very, very tricky. He can just complete things at his leisure than Jujel can.
Yeah, pretty much. He's just looking for that Mozaki, and he'll be able to pop off.
Mozaki, and the game's over.
Yeah.
Are there any other cards in for Seth's list here that can save him? Not really. The two pieces of disruption are the double rats, and that's about it.
The only thing I could see possibly coming into play here is if the turn timer affects the Mozaki combo turn.
Yep,
Because if
that's
Mozaki
exactly
gets
it.
down and doesn't deal all the damage, then Seth has a decent chance to clear the Mozaki and maybe stabilize, but it's a far cry given the setup that he's leisurely taking, as you said, to this
And that's
position.
exactly right. He's allowed himself to be able to top deck Mozaki and then just go like full gas into it.
Yeah, yeah.
There's the Lord of Turtling.
Still no Mozaki, so
Yeah,
Just
he's gonna
another-
want to keep that card. No, maybe not. Oh, geez, those are good choices.
yeah, I mean,
He's got to get rid
all
of something.
damage there. I'm fine with getting rid of the biscuit here. I mean, you really don't need that much mana.
He doesn't need one of those. He's got so much mana now that he doesn't need to worry about it.
Yeah, but you give your opponent 10 armor in the process by just throwing something that
Yeah, but
Crush can hit into.
he's got so much damage that he's going to be able to deal from hand. I'm not concerned.
But again, the turn timer makes a difference, so who knows? That 10 damage might
Well said.
that 10 armor might be a difference maker.
I think
So
we're going to see double
Mozaki,
ray of frost here. I think he's going to be. Oh,
is he going for it? Oh, he's going for it. Oh, this is risky now.
oh, I see what he's doing.
Right?
He's playing it a
Okay.
little more slowly.
Yeah, but his
Okay.
block is getting popped.
So with the Conjure Mana Biscuit, I actually think he should be okay.
It just depends on how much he can get out, right?
Because he can Mozaki Mana Biscuit into Conjure Mana Biscuit into everything he needs.
Okay.
Considering the
Yeah,
cost of
yeah.
everything else is discounted, he'll be fine. This should be lethal here if he goes fast enough.
It's going fast, yeah.
Gotta go fast though. Really
Yeah, he's going immediately, so he might just have it all calculated out. Let's see.
Go on, chat. We're gonna see if he gets there.
He's going.
Is it enough? Let's see.
Turns over, but his animations are not.
He's got 3 sources of damage here.
It's enough if he did
11.
everything correctly.
Yeah.
No, not enough.
How do you?
He emoted. I mean, that might be it.
No, it's
No,
not.
I think that's enough. Oh, it's a one-off. Oh, that's huge.
He has
No,
no
but
more.
he has a block up.
He's block up. Armor
Oh,
Smith
but here's the
though.
Armor Smith.
He's just gonna gain armor.
Oh, Armor Smith and a Mercenary. He's gonna get so much armor off of this.
What's the last card?
I don't know, but it's not gonna be enough damage to win. It's over. This Mozaki mage is lost
over.
to the
Yep,
DMH.
that's it.
Wow.
And this is the problem with Mozaki in a format like this. You don't have the time.
It was Ice
There's the
Lance.
lance
He
he
needed the
needed.
last. He needed to go. He needed to research project, but he couldn't.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. And Nice Josal goes
Close
down.
loss. It's a close loss by the Muzaki Mage.
It is, yeah.
So, the Demon, or the Dead Man's Hand Warrior gets through on the side of Seth
Wow.
for price.
And
He's
that was
still
exactly
got.
what we were talking about in the intro.
Yeah, I mean, we said it. Mozaki Mage is gonna struggle with the turn
Oh
timer.
my
So,
goodness. It was one-off lethal. Oh no.
and that was after the full setup. I mean, he had all the time in the world, but
If he had all the time, he would have definitely.
or I
gotten
shouldn't say
it.
all the time, all the turns to set up. I mean, but
Yeah.
Oh, that is rough. But it's, and that's to be expected. You bring decks that depend on you moving fast and in a mode
Yeah.
like this. I
But
mean, he's gotten to this
but
point.
the good thing is
obviously it's okay.
good thing is that he doesn't. I mean, he'll have to win with that Mozaki, but he has a little bit to get with other decks before Mozaki really becomes a factor again. But he's gonna bring it out again.
yeah. But here's the thing.
Here's Dark.
Like, the Mozaki Mage actually doesn't have the best matchups in the Odd Paladin and Dark Lair. In fact, I think they're actually unfavored in both of those. So, if the turn timer comes into factor again, like, I don't know. Maybe this
Mozaki. I thought
Mage doesn't
Mozaki was
get
pretty
through
good
at all.
into Glare because of. Well, I guess Glare goes too fast, right? That's the
It really
thing.
depends on the pilots.
Yeah.
You have to
really,
get the
really
correct
depends.
order of the secrets into a turn without Lotheb, but yeah. Sometimes Mozaki gets there, but
So much depends on the pilots in my experience.
Yeah, and we're in.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure that as a WoW player, that Seth probably has a lot of experience on Dark Glare, and he wisely goes for the coin tap on one.
Yes. Without strong plays, coin tap there is decent.
Yes, it's
but
probably
for
one of-
both of these players, I mean, the turn timer is going to come into effect. We know, especially for Dark Lair turns, as we said in the pregame show. It's going to be
Yeah.
an issue trying to parse out what to do for each and every turn.
Looks like Rain of Fire into Cheaty on Face.
Yeah, cheating
Yep.
on face. Yeah, we're gonna get a
That gives you a next turn Flesh Giant.
Flesh Giant,
You can
yeah.
tap into Flesh Giant next turn. Right, full mana though.
Hmm.
There's Naws.
That's good
Take it
for.
off.
That is good for Talon. Because Talon will draw Mozaki then.
Oh, there's a Dark Lair. He's just going to instead prioritize ping and put down the Flesh Giant.
Yes.
Hmm.
It's just simple, and it's an 8/8. It's big.
Yes.
We have a Ray of Frost to deal with it, though, if he wants to do that.
I don't like the early
I would
block.
expect a Ray of Frost here, but
Ruined Orb is interesting because it... Okay, he's gonna Snap Freeze it. Okay.
Snap Freeze will do. Yeah, Snap Freeze will do. Bailed
Yeah.
out by it.
Yeah, for sure.
maybe you wanted to freeze and then destroy it, but
I don't know if there's enough time.
All right, well, here comes the Dark Lair turn.
Comes Dark Glare turn. Let's see what...
Got the Flesh Giant, which is going to come down this turn.
Yeah, we'll probably just see Flesh Giant and Broom. Yeah, just put as
Probably
much
just gonna
just
see
put a whopping
Frost
load
over
of
this
stats
turn.
on the board with double PO and probably like
Oh, we
get
could
the
see the Talon.
yeah Talon would be nice here. It would set up for a potential. It would set up for a good turn for nice
Prioritize
Jewish
this
Owl
Ray of
here.
Frost onto one of the 8/8s.
Yeah, just gonna make it harder to remove things.
Just wants to make sure there isn't shenanigans and like. The
Yeah,
block can be
there's no
popped,
Loweth
some
Deb, so
shenanigans.
Talon being killed off would give.
There's a Spellstone.
Yeah, Spellstone is really good. Spellstone is what's gonna keep
Here comes 11
keep-
damage,
keep
and there's
progressing this
Mozaki
game.
getting
Keeps-
drawn.
Yeah, Seth is in
We
this
already
game
know
because
that
of this.
Nozstone was in hand.
Yeah.
it's really going to come down to whether or not Christ can draw his Lotheb at the correct time.
Correct.
But
Yeah.
That is the big piece.
Because
right
we've
here.
seen that Nice Owl has the APM on the low board to almost get there from what was over 30 health, over 30 effective health. So Larium coming out.
He's super close to lethal next turn just with Mozaki and the discounted spells.
I know. But needs
There's
probably
Damon.
needs a girl
Oh.
apprentice.
Seth anticipates it and drains souls his own minion to create space also.
Yeah. Very nice. Only a Raised Dead removed. There's
Usually
not
raised dead, but
Raised Dead's
whatever,
not too
yeah.
big here. He's gonna. Are we gonna go? No, he's gonna probably to
No.
not
He's
go.
thinking about it, but no.
No.
Spring water instead.
Okay, gets a research project.
Right, that mitigates the block pop.
Mm-hmm. It does, yes.
yeah,
Another Ray
yeah.
Frost too. With a girl, I think he
There's
has lethal next
Loetheb,
turn.
and he's not board locked. I would be very surprised if we didn't see Loetheb here.
Yeah,
This is the perfect turn to
I'll play it
Loetheb.
right now.
This locks out the game for it gets to the block pop, but I'm not sure if it wins the game. It's gonna be
The
close.
question is, do you go for the no, I guess you don't go for the Spirit Bomb Tamsin into a
No,
double
you,
PO. It's not
you just-
lethal.
you just set it up for next turn and you just get ready to go nuts. This should be Nice Jewish Owl's game.
Yeah, he should win this
unless
because the
something goes
block
crazy.
will get popped.
Yeah, because you can apprentice Mozaki and then just go freaking ham.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Oh no, excuse me, I am completely.
Zephyrus for
mistaken.
Flare! Or for some. Oh, wait, no, Zeph wasn't played. Wait,
Zephyrus wasn't
He-
active.
Zeph wasn't
It
active.
looked like he attacked and then played Zeph. Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't have it. So
Zephyrus
let's
wasn't
see if
active.
the Mozaki Mage has the animation and the
Yeah.
turn time restriction, pushes past all of those.
Yeah, he'll get it, for sure. That's game.
Yeah, looks like he's got it. So
Great, so the Mozaki Mage gets through. As the APM.
Looking at the deck, it looks like double backfire was still in the deck.
Yeah, double backfire. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
brutal. Double backfire is so necessary in these matchups.
Yeah. You would expect at that late game Zephyrus to be active, but sometimes it's not, and the double backfire in the deck proves punishing to Seth. If the situation were different, that would have been lethal for the Dark Lair, but instead, 1-1.
Yeah.
yeah, so both the Dead Man's Hand Warrior and the Mozaki Mage have taken wins for their respective players. From the side of Nice Jewish Owl, he's got left his Odd Warrior and his Odd Demon Hunter. So, a couple Baku decks.
Yes, and typically the Odd Warrior will be favored here, but anything can go with a Nozstone match, but I would not be surprised to see Nashtushal take the lead here. But we shall see, especially with Lord Barov in the mulligan.
Yeah, I
Which
mean,
keeps, like the
he's got
Barov
that
Raptor
Barov into ghoul
Ghoul.
play. It's so
Oh,
strong.
mwah. Yeah, that's just mwah. That's Chef's kiss right there against Dark Glare.
Yeah.
Turn 1 Librarian, strong start.
And it's very good also. Armor Vendor up off the front really slows down the Molten Giant engine.
Yeah, and the Flesh Giant engine too. I mean,
Yep. Everything's solid. Conditions for the Odd Warrior.
And
finds the
nice
bulwark too.
Nice Jewish
I
Owl
mean,
gets to do his favorite thing in the game. And that is hero power as warrior. He's a well-known control warrior player from standard. So Odd
There's
Warrior
the
is
back
kind of the
player.
deck, kind of like a deck he just loves. So very, very cool to get to see him pilot this. There is still some counterplay for this Dark Glare. He's gonna remove it. Only one draw for the Odd Warrior. He's gonna be working towards working towards those Moltens. He's able to get quite a chunk of damage through it. Probably
Desperately wants to draw.
yeah. I like this turn. It was a good turn from Seth. And there's not a lot. There's no like no real damage pressure from this Odd Warrior. It just runs the Dark Glare out of resources. But if you get
There's the Flesh Giant.
but the giants are gonna come out. Like we're so close to seeing double giant.
But I mean, even
Yeah.
that, it's just like coin coerce.
He actually
And then do
opts to not.
whatever.
He opts to put the taunts on the other spot.
Just shield slam it. Call it good.
yeah.
Or just reckless it. For the love of God, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, this is one giant down, one raised dead down, 3 giants left for the warlock.
We might see a big Lotheb turn here.
Does draw the second giant. It does draw a second thing. No giant though. Unfortunately, gets cheaty and gets cheaty and no giant. So
Plays the Lotheb too. Yeah, and we can see the answer from Owl here with the
There it
Barov
is.
into the ghoul.
There it is.
yeah.
All clear. That's 6
So the Odd Warrior now sitting with 6 damage on board. Has to get a remove. I'm sure we'll see a cheeky ankle biter removing that. Which will get some healing out. Zephyr is active. I don't think you really want to Zephyr for anything right now, but maybe you Zephyr. Maybe there's something you can Zephyr for, but I don't think it's gonna be great here.
Yeah, Seth's only game plan at this point to hopefully get a win here is he's got to use the 9-mana play with a minion on the board of Tamsin into double PO and to Zeph Wind Fury, which can deal 32 damage plus 2 times the minion's original attack.
This Dark
But
Glare will be removed.
at this point,
if he does,
yeah,
Seth
at
is
this
not
point
winning this
the
game.
Odd Warrior's getting too much armor, so
yeah, it's 43
Seth
effective.
is not
though.
winning this game.
No, this is going to the Odd Warrior. Yeah, he's doing the play, but I think he's gonna concede after probably.
Well,
Maybe. He's not
I
making
mean,
the
after
Zephyrs.
all this is the burst that, you're hoping to surprise your opponent with, so it's not really going to do a whole ton afterwards. Ooh, actually, I forgot about Lord Jiraxis. That's a good pickup.
yeah, but nonetheless,
I just don't think he has the deck space to,
no.
to do that.
It'll be pretty okay for a little bit. But he's very low, and now you have Nas, and now you have double Coldblade Oracle will just
Yeah,
remove
he's
the
just
rest
gonna
of the
send it.
deck. Like pretty much the rest of the deck gets drawn here.
Oh.
If that happens, Brand plus that would be really good next turn. It would force a lot of mill.
think
He
he's
just
gonna equip the bulwark.
yeah, let's go Bulwark, Hero
In
Power.
about 3
He's
turns,
actually
it's
gonna
gonna be
even.
lethal
He's
with
just gonna
the,
go for an
He's
attack
attacking with the
here.
bulwark.
He's flexing on the Warlock, attacking with the Bulwark. I've never seen a
Oh my
Bulwark attack in my life, besides when I
Yeah,
figured
here it
out.
is. Yeah.
Except when I figured
Yeah,
out how
and
it
that's
works when you attack a minion.
this is lethal by Owl here, right? With Brandon to double Cold Light. I mean,
Should be.
Yeah.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Yeah, good play. All right, so Owl takes it.
It's 2-1.
Yeah. So he's just got his odd Demon Hunter left against For Christ, his odd Paladin and that Dark Lair. So the odd Demon Hunter is pretty favored into the Dark Lair, definitely. Against the odd Demon Hunter, it probably doesn't do as well just because of those brooms, but
Yeah.
Owl's got to feel pretty confident here that he's going to make it to the finals, I think.
It's not bad, but in my experience, Odd Demon Hunter has been a decent choice into Dark Lair given its strength. Just pushing face.
Mhm. Ooh, but this Dark Lair has all the tools to start. I mean, Dark Lair, Broom, Librarian.
Time grows short.
I might even be a fan of coin tap tap into Dark Lair pop off on turn 3, but
And remember, the winner of this goes on to the winner of this match, whether it's Seth taking the win here and then getting the win on the last deck, or Nice Jewish Owl getting the odd DH through. They go on to face Mr. Python, in the finals. So that'll be a very interesting match.
yeah. So an aggressive start by the odd Demon Hunter here.
Prioritizes pure damage. Very interesting. Not trading with the face. Not sure if I agree with that.
Yeah, I might disagree as well, just because that Battle Fiend is one of the more targets that you want to protect, but decides not to clear again, so sticking with the same game plan. At least it's consistent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in this case, the 1-1 can't, well, clear without help, I was about to say. Here comes a broom.
Yeah, just to try and gain some life back.
Yeah,
Using the broom. to clear
Lair
the
is very
rest.
close to a pop-off turn, though. They have some decent stuff here. And there's not a lot in the hand for Nice Jewish Owl. I mean, that's a nice pickup. Let's see what he gets. He has to be able to play it, and it is a mana burn. That is going to hurt this Dark Lair a lot. Not a lot of damage in total coming through. Just 5.
I mean, that's huge
or just 4.
in denying the Dark Lair turn, though.
True, yeah,
I
you
mean,
deny the Dark Lair turn.
Only 2 mana now.
Yeah, just force a tap, very likely. Doesn't even tap.
Just passes.
He's not even going to
Preserving his
tap. That
life.
makes sense, yeah. There's a lot of damage coming through for this, but it does. If Molten's drawn, it does lead to a Molten turn with a Sun Fury Protector. That could completely change the outcome of this game.
Except he has the Consume magic on the opposite side to deny the taunt. He's going to need 2 of those
He would need the
giants to...
yeah, that's for sure. He will need multiple, but he will be able to taunt up a couple.
Yeah,
of
we're going to
things,
see a
probably.
Molten Giant with Taunt here.
Molten Giant taunt.
The Consume Magic.
I don't know if you.
Oh, he goes for the broom, not
I don't think he got it
not the
off.
protector.
Yeah,
That's actually probably fine.
honestly, yeah.
7.
Illidari studies is capable of drawing lethal.
Oh, Skull.
This might find lethal.
No, I can't find lethal right away, but it can get a good hand. I think you just consume magic the Dark Lair instead. Yeah, find Stilt Stepper. I don't know if you even chuck the
Enough.
Battle Fiend out. I don't think you. I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm sure it's fine. He's just flooding the board and just forcing the board to be removed. But But there really isn't anything left, and I think it's just... Is that just lethal? No, it can't just be just lethal, but it's close. The first consume magic, so he feels safe. But there really isn't any way to get through things. He has to...
Yeah, so
Finds a burn. He finds some damage, but he doesn't have enough to get through to lethal right now. Consume magic. You can't play consume magic and the arcane golem. So, Nisar at least remove the Tamsin off the board here. That way you don't get power overwhelming off of the top. But this Dark Lair is still in this matchup. Honestly.
Sticking around.
yeah, this is not a lethal setup by the Demon Hunter, so
Yeah, I mean, I think it's still a possibility that it comes off the top here. There's a lot of damage in this deck.
If he draws the...
Anything.
Oh.
Fury,
Fury
there it
off
is.
The top, that does it.
Fury off the top, and there goes. So, nice Jewish Owl. Milo takes a 3-1 victory over Seth, and moves into the finals of the Wild Nozstone.
There it is.
Yeah, takes it 3-1 over For Christ there. I mean,
Yeah.
he did a great job, but Owl just had the upper hand in a couple of those games late, so
Yeah. So I'll just be moving this. I'll just be putting these
Time for
classes
the finals,
back up.
yes.
Yes, time for the
Mr.
final.
Python, a very familiar face in these wild tournament finals. I'm sure for the standard ones as well, but I feel like he's usually top 4, if anything.
Yes,
But,
he's been top 4 in
yeah.
a lot of these tournaments. Yeah, he's an outstanding Hearthstone player. Let's see how these two fare. They're both extremely good players. Both high PR'd players, and they're in a lot of the things they're playing for PR based series.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just gonna get these. So we'll give time for the players to get their bands all ready and everything. I just need to swap the classes back for their respective players.
Okay.
Demon Hunter, Druid, a Paladin, and Rogue from Mr. Python. Demon Hunter, Mage, Paladin, Warrior of Nice Jewish Owl. What do you think these bands will potentially be this last?
I wouldn't be too
match?
surprised to see a Jade Druid ban by the side of Owl. I mean, Jade Druid does very well into Odd Warrior. It does decently well into Odd Demon Hunter, and it can shut down the Call to Arms Paladin. So
Yeah.
I might not be surprised to see a Jade Druid ban here.
Yeah.
I don't know. What are you thinking, Rotted?
Well, in a traditional format, I might think one way, but in this format, I don't know. It's like Mozaki is among the stronger things that Jewish Owl could bring, but in this format, it could potentially be a liability. I'm honestly not sure.
I
Looking at the list right here.
mean,
I agree.
I
mean,
definitely think based on what we saw in the last series that he can get it done. It's just getting it done another time with this deck if it's not banned, because Python can just ban it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's just a Mozaki ban, but also seeing the Paladin deck that Nice Jewish Owl has is pretty worth a ban as well. Just waiting for that series to be recorded, the results recorded, and then we'll go and have them be banning in the finals and everything. Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, it's kind of a toss-up for these bans. I mean, whether you ban the Mozaki Mage or you don't, whether you ban the Jade Druid or you don't, whether you ban the Paladin. I think it all just comes down to, I don't know, what you're least likely or wanting to see from any of these matchups. So,
I'm really not sure in that regard. We'll just have to wait and see what the players decide to go with.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
So I told the players that they can do whatever, that they can challenge and ban, and then just tell me when they're ready. I am going to step away for a
Fantastic.
minute here. So I have everything up on the screen. We just await the players to do things.
yeah. I think it's worth mentioning both of these contestants here are finalists, Mr. Python and Nice Jewish Owl. They have both qualified for our second place prize at the very least of the $3 bundle. Right now, they're fighting for the extra $7 for the $10 bundle. So, a lot's on the line here, at stake for both competitors.
Well, this is it indeed. This is the chance for them to step above. Oh, I'm still debating the bands. Oh, I'm looking at the lists here. I just can't decide. I
I
mean,
mean,
typically I want to ban Mozaki, but eh.
yeah, no, I kind of have the same feeling too about banning Mozaki Mage. It's just that, given that the restraints that the format pushes on the deck, you think you might just have enough of a natural advantage to get over that hump. But at
Yeah.
the same time, like as you said, in a regular Conquest format, that would be the targeted deck. So
I mean, looking at the lists Mr. Python has brought, we might see an odd warrior ban. A few of those lists don't do as well into it. But then again, the tax paladin is
oh, we
particularly
have bans.
benefiting. Oh, do we have
Okay.
bans? I shall
So
refresh.
Mr. Python's Jade Druid has been banned,
All
and
right.
Jewish Owl's Call to Arms Paladin has been
Well,
banned.
there it is.
So yeah,
The
and
tax
it
paladin indeed.
looks like the players are starting to prepare to battle. So
Perfect. I think I'm ready. How are you feeling, Jailstorm?
I'm feeling pretty good about this one. I mean, we're gonna see some more Demon Hunter action. We're gonna see some more Mozaki Mage. We're gonna see some Kingsbane. So I'm very ready and looking forward to this series. It's gonna be a good final.
I've sent the players on their way. I just got back as the bands came in.
Yes.
Very clutch.
Perfect.
I thought I saw an eyeball from Python there, but looks like they're still preparing. I don't know. In the last series that we watched from Owl, he first queued that Mozaki Mage and queued it until he won. I think if he goes with that same strategy, Mr. Python probably wants to go with his Kingsbane. Um, just because that early start when it's unchecked can ramp up pretty quickly. But we
Yes.
might see some hand buff too, just because that's better across the board.
Yeah, I think that's well said. I mean, it's a big question in a format like this. I think the players aren't super comfortable. We're not super comfortable. This is just crazy and fun.
Yeah, yeah. I think I see an eyeball from Mr. Python, so I'm getting into the
Yes.
match here.
All right, let's see here.
Yeah.
To scroll down through
So
my friends list and find them.
Python is
Same.
playing his Reno Demon Hunter, and Owl is on his Mozaki Mage. So
Excellent.
the Mozaki Mage is pretty favored here regularly, but because of the format restrictions, again, Python might just steal a win because of that.
We'll have to see. Yeah.
Early encounters flow.
Yep. Coin flow seems good.
Time runs out on me.
Into research project.
Here comes the bird.
Time runs out on me. Not enough time.
Another
project
research
again.
project.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the biscuit here.
Oh
Solid.
yeah.
And a decent amount of pressure here by Python on the early turns, but it looks like Owl has the answer here in terms of those Ray of Frost to manage that pressure.
Yes.
And Fire Blast Face. Interesting.
Just sitting up. Is that the apple bomb tree?
Yeah, so
Here's
I
Taylor.
was going to drop the Tailend here and hopefully set up for next turn lethal, but he's getting pretty close here. I mean,
Interestingly, he's leaving himself open to an overdraw.
that is true.
There's only so much to be done for it, though. We'll see what he burns.
Well, you know he's going to draw the,
Well, there's a
oh,
Mozaki.
he
That
has
is
Nozstone already.
Yeah.
Rips the Nova, that's pretty quick. Sets up the Biscuit for the next turn, so unless Python draws some disruption here, but I don't think he has any. Yeah, nope, he's got none, so
Oh, Kane's Sun Fury. Not quite enough for lethal, though.
yeah,
Let's
close there.
agree.
I mean, it didn't.
There's
He
a
didn't
nice
have
one
a
up top.
Chaos Strike or anything, but
No, yeah.
all right, he's got to go pretty quickly. I mean, he's got about 10 seconds to kill his opponent now, so
Here goes. Hold on tight, everybody.
I see a Rune Orb, I see Frostbolt, and I see another Rune Orb, but I don't think he gets there.
He said block. I don't know if he blocked or not. We'll see.
5 cards.
Oh yeah, like that animation time's gonna go through, please.
Nope,
Okay.
next turn. The
Oh,
end.
and that's it.
He didn't get the.
Not enough time.
If he got the.
He could have slammed the ice.
If he got the.
block, but
If
instead
he got the
chose
block
to-
off, potentially he survives. But I think you still.
Yeah.
I think the Mozaki
not-
still dies and it's game over. So.
Yeah, well, that's right. So perhaps the line was then just play the block and hold for a turn. But in
Yeah,
this case,
I
I
agree.
mean, regardless, like the time is proving such an issue with Mozaki here.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, it really seems to be the restraint on the deck right now.
Mhm.
It's normally one of the most powerful decks in our format, but at this stage in the game, I mean, he can't get past that. It is a noticeable roadblock. So, all right, getting into game 2 here. It's gonna be Owl switching game plans, going to his warrior.
Oh,
I think he's an odd warrior, right?
it's an odd warrior. Does the odd warrior? Let me look at the list here. It doesn't run Sticky Finger. This is going to be hard.
Yeah, just not the best matchup for the Odd Warrior here. Even if you have every answer against the Kingsbane in their early board, they defend against fatigue with their Kingsbane.
Yeah, and Kingsbane is just freaking enormous. This is going to be very hard for Jewish Owl unless they can somehow mill the Kingsbane.
Yeah, he's got one Death Lord as a taunt. He's got the Bulwark of Azeroth to stave off a couple of turns of damage. But other than that, I mean, it's going to be pretty tough, as you said.
Oh, patches.
Yeah,
well.
you don't like to draw patches. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
and this matchup is not as
Oh.
essential, but it's still not fun.
That was Patch's bug.
No patches bug, yeah.
Yeah, but you said patches and I thought it was Patch's bug. I'll be right back in the game. Those
Well, in this case, patches was holding hand, so
Those
I don't know if
reflex-
the bug applies.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. I just heard patches and my reflexes went off.
I know, right? Comes a coin oil.
Yeah, this game's gonna be tough for Owl to win.
I think it's very hard for the Odd Warrior to win here against Kingsbane without a Sticky Finger tech.
Okay, am I get bug with Pythons?
Basically, he's going to require him to like out pressure him in some weird way. using, I don't know, Doc Boom.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Eviscerate.
Okay.
All right. He's going to go for the big cannon turn next, then. Although he doesn't have a way to get... Well, there's the passage. I should... Never mind. I was going to say he doesn't have a way to get
Interesting
Kingsbane
that
back, but there's the passage.
Interesting that he plays the Oracle there. I mean, there's philosophies on whether to play it or not play it when you're
Just
ahead
looking
on
for
tempo, but
answers, yeah. I think it's fine just slamming for tempo here. You can rip the passage next turn and find your Kingsbane. This is
Really
fine.
nice cannons hits.
Yeah.
Removes all the
Yeah, with the
armor.
passage there, you're just fine.
yeah, so Owl's got a number of clears here. He could just armor up and Reckless Flurry. He could, yeah, it looks like he's gonna do that. Sets up for a passage turn by Python.
Buck first, always a good double buck before passage. Okay.
Interesting.
I think he wants to have those in case he does get his Kingsbane. Then he'll have a
There's
really
the
good
raiding
King.
party. Well, there's the Kingsbane anyway.
Yeah, Kingsbane is just great. I mean,
The
Wow.
Kings, you go
Deadly
like, you get
Poison.
Kingsbane with 2 extra attacks plus Deadly Poison. That's so much
And
damage.
this is what... Well, how can Jewish Owl deal with a 10 attack
He
weapon
can't.
here? With
No, he doesn't have Sticky Finger. The
No, no
Milo
Sticky Finger,
Sticky
ooh, no, no.
Fingers. Hey, for Milo Sticky Fingers, Owl doesn't doesn't put Sticky Finger in his deck. He gets punished. Nah.
just top decks the
I
passage
mean, I
too. I mean, come on.
Yeah, this is that Nozstone is insanely good. He's gonna try and mill the rest of the deck out. But now this Kingsbane just gets drawn every turn.
Well, there's the double shiny finder in hand. That's...
Yeah, double shiny finder in hand.
What is
I'm
it?
sorry, there is no more. There's still a lot of cards in deck. For some reason I thought there was very little.
Two hits here. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you just hit here, play that. Yeah, this is really looking good for Python. I don't think it's lethal right now, but if he had drawn an Eviscerate would have been close, as close as you could have gotten, but it wasn't drawn.
It was pretty close, but I respect him not trying to force it with the passage because there's really no need. But
No, he could just play out his hands and everything, and we're gonna see Evil Quartermaster. Bulwark will stave off some damage. The Bulwark's pretty good here.
That is what it is, but it's not great.
It does enough though, right? It prevents a decent chunk of damage.
Sure.
It lets him survive a little bit longer to get more armor down. But I know what you mean. Like, the rest of this deck is being drawn out, and there's no way that it can really be... And as long as this brand doesn't die, as long as this brand doesn't live, it's pretty okay here for the rogue.
Swing.
I guess we could go for, like, a potential, like... Maybe go for something like Boom Mad Genius to try and scam a little bit, but...
So this is interesting. He's actually setting up for his own counter-lethal.
yeah, I mean, this is getting close just by throwing down that Nozstone. I mean, it's a 3-turn clock now, so...
Yeah. Yeah, but his minion getting hit by the cannon erases that completely.
He can clear off the board, though.
He only has one Eviscerate that he runs, so that's the onwill way he could get that.
Yeah, the
last
Kobold
hit off the
Lackey is
Bulwark.
really big, and it removes the cannon. Yeah, this is this won't count. This will almost get there. This will be very close now, with the stabilization. Nas just being a pain, being pretty thorny here.
Is doing work.
Yeah, Bulwark
I
being
think
really
he
good.
gets there.
He has 18 on board. It's over. Odd Warrior
Yeah,
wins exactly 18 on the board with the Bulwark. Even with the Bulwark hit, it wouldn't have been lethal, but I know it might have been just 18 on board without the. I don't know.
Absolutely fascinating.
That was extremely well navigated. Both players did pretty well there. It's just the Odd Warrior just got through.
Yeah, so Mr. Python picking up 2 quick games with his Reno Demon Hunter and that with the Kingsbane. I mean,
No,
he's
the
got
Kingsbane
just
didn't
that
win.
oh yeah, no, sorry.
Was tied.
He's got the Kingsbane and the hand buff then to deal against
Yes.
the Odd Warrior, or not the Odd Warrior, the Odd Demon Hunter and the Mozaki Mage. So
Yeah. We got
Grows short.
Plenty of options here for Jewish Owl. But a good curve coming next turn with the hero power into the beaming sidekick.
yeah, Hero Power Beaming is like really nice here.
yeah, a slow start for Python so far without a broom. That's what he really needs here is a broom.
He's alright, we're good.
Oh, opts for the
Bit of a greedier line, but I mean, hey,
Okay, that
it's
works.
not too bad because he's not really pressed to play the Beaming Sidekick.
no.
So I quite like this.
Pushes more pressure this way.
Yeah.
Coins out the 2-4.
The Warsong Envoy is on the board now.
Here's the beaming sidekick.
Even just go for like we could have just kind of removed
Oh,
Ooh, that's pretty big.
a lot of damage.
here comes the damage.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
getting him all the way down to 17.
this
I
odd
mean,
DH has
Amuro
10
next
has 10
turn.
right now. He's 1 damage off lethal, but it'll get some stuff will get removed off the board. But Kolek will remain on the board, which is notable.
Clear.
Grows short.
Clear play the mana burn. Face tank the
I think
6.
this is a pretty strong position, though. I mean,
He's gonna face tank the 2 and then send the 2.
Face tank the 2, yeah.
Then we're gonna mana burn. He's actually gonna remove the Kol. He's gonna use the Kolek to tank the damage. So that's smart. He only has 3 now on the board with only Twin Slice in hand. If this warrior, or sorry, if the paladin can stabilize and get this chill blade out soon.
Oh.
Wow.
That just it?
I
oh
think
wow.
it's close.
I think that's it.
It's close.
That's 4, 6.
Yeah, it's
11.
lethal. Yeah, he gets
Wow,
there.
that's lethal.
He gets there, right?
Right.
It's just
off
13
the
exactly.
top.
Wow, Fury off the top, going to 5 makes it a give 3 attack, and that's all he needed.
What a top deck.
Yeah,
I mean, Nozstone makes for some quick games, but that was quick.
Odd DH makes for quick games. I love Odd DH.
Yeah, so it's up to nice Jewish Owl and that Mozaki Mage to
Yeah, it's
to
gonna be
win it.
tough. It's gonna be tough. These aren't particularly. I don't think they're particularly great matchups for the deck. Maybe hand buff is fine into it, but it's fine for Mozaki. But I don't know.
Here it is. It's gonna be tricky.
going against the Kingsbane first. Okay.
Versus Valera.
I make my own. You asked for it.
Looks like a good start for Python here.
Yeah, it seems like a decent hand. Could coin out the Shiny Finder, frankly. Coin out the Shiny Finder, prep poison, play the 4/4, play the Dread Corsair.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is really good for Python. He's gonna be establishing a really good board
Yeah.
here. This second Shiny Finder in hand is also really nice because it allows
So you
for
can
Python to retrieve his weapon.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, by turn 2, this is a lot of pressure for Kingsbane, so
Let's find a Blizzard. Probably might want to pick that for the extra because I don't think duplicate or the other secret there was doing anything. So I think that was the best pickup.
Oh, was there a patches bug?
Patches bug, yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Makes
I
sense.
wasn't thinking about that.
Yep, the prize plunger was played pulling patches and we're bugged.
Okay, jumping back in.
We're missing 2 turns because this is Nozstone.
Yeah, right.
But luckily it's Mozaki, so I don't know if they could have done too much. Nas and Kingsbane in the hand of Mr. Python. Draws the Evis. Good. Okay, gonna face tank that, but Nice Xiao's been really fortunate with these Nas draws to just get Mozaki off of it. But Nas also kind of clunky in hand all the time for this deck.
Agreed. Yeah.
But
No,
he's
it's
just
fortunate.
he has to block this turn though. Yeah, he has to block or he's dead. So
And we have the second block in hand now.
second
so
block in
he's got a
hand
little
is
time.
really nice. It allows for some setup next turn potentially with the double
So we
conj.
get second block popped, or his first block popped this turn.
Yes. Just
Yeah, and he's got 2 of those Conjure Mana Biscuits, but he's really looking for an apprentice.
yeah, he needs Apprentice in this case to really get going with the damage. He doesn't really have any damage items. He doesn't really have any damage things. I think he just can't win this at this point. Like the second block is pop, but where's his ice lances? Where's his frost bolts? Like they're not there.
No, he's gonna have to Mozaki into cram session and just pray.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. And he's only got 15 seconds, so let's see it.
He's going.
Goes for the draw first, okay?
Yeah, this is done. Yeah, no chance.
I don't see it.
Nova, if he can find a Lance? No, not time.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, he just didn't have any. He just didn't have any damage in the hand. I think if he had damage, I think if he had damage with that type of line, it would have been possible. But he didn't have any of his damage abilities. Or any of his damage spells. Because if he has like
Yeah.
Frost Nova, if he could just like go like essentially just dish out, whatever the 1 mana freeze cards. If he has those, definitely better situation for him.
Agreed.
But-
So the tournament comes down to the final game 5 between Mr. Python's Handbuff Paladin and Jewish Owl's Mozaki Mage. So
Gaina versus Uther. I will fight with honor.
You asked for it.
finds the Crystology, finds the Smuggler's Run. It's a good start so far.
Yes, it is.
Move quickly.
Okay. Not a great crime street here, but it's something.
Yeah, true.
We do have there's Rays
Oh,
and
first
Frost
day.
Bolts
He can first day,
taking up.
then that's much better.
Yeah, this is a really good for Mr. Python. He's buffing a lot of good cards here, including a Leper Gnome, which was picked up, and that looks like a Tentacle of Mazal, so that'll buff the board.
There's the
Flow.
encounters.
Flow
He needed that
instantly
flow
drops.
right there. He needed that.
Yeah. It means that it's less likely to need you're a little less likely to need Apprentice going into the later stages of the game.
There's the
Gonna,
Nova. No,
It-
no.
Time runs out on me.
Yep. Maybe. Okay,
yeah,
there
he
it
goes
is.
for the Nova and he's gonna play Conjure Mana.
I mean, that was close to lethal right there. But
It was.
he was
actually,
what,
yeah.
4 off? 2 off? Yeah, 2 off.
Yeah, I mean, I think this game's just gonna be over faster than Owl can get anything done.
He has to
It's-
play his block.
Runs out
Like, he has to block here. He has to draw nothing but spells and then block. Didn't, but he does get
Finds
the
the
block.
apprentice. I mean,
He
all
finds...
he needs right now is Mozaki to pop off, right?
It's gonna be tight though. He doesn't really have...
Oh, that's interesting. If he raised a frost that, he might not want to invest the convictions.
Move quickly.
Goes for it anyway. Okay, no, it's definitely popping it.
Yeah, he'll pop it,
Yeah.
but he'll leave it with a few extra health because you just can't pop it with anything more than 3, which is fine. Yeah, this looks like Mr. Python's gonna take this in a couple of turns. It'll take a lot of really good draw here from Owl to actually take this one back.
He might find something though. I mean,
Could.
he's got a little bit of time with the second ice block.
Got one more turn.
Very, very tricky though. He needs exactly the correct top deck because his second block is going to be.
Yeah, if he doesn't get
here.
Mozaki here, it's kind of over.
Yeah, he needs exactly Mozaki, but I think
Or
that
another
would be...
or another Frost Nova, I guess, if he runs 2.
He
There's
finds it.
Mozaki.
This has got to be it right here for the tournament.
He's got to do it.
He's playing fast.
I don't know. I don't like drawing animations in the middle of this. It makes it insanely hard to play
Ooh, the
stuff.
cram session
I don't-
animation's
I
making me
don't-
sick.
I don't
know.
I think he gets close.
I don't know if he finds it.
I don't know how
He
much he
found the
played.
rune
I don't know
orb,
how much
okay.
he played. Super close.
9.
Did he get the
10?
rune orb?
Is it gonna do it?
He
with
got
the
it!
rune?
He got it! It's done!
He got it! No way! Wow! What a great
Just
play at the end.
barely the time. Well done, Mr. Owl.
He finally got it. He got the win with Mozaki Mage. Good for him.
Holy guacamole. That was intense.
Wow. I mean, could you believe that top deck? That's crazy.
That was the only top deck that won the game. Everything else was a loss.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Essentially. Because there's no more way of avoiding lethal. He would have to maybe like a Frost Nova does it. Like Frost Nova stalls one more turn. If he had 2.
Yeah, but even that, I mean, he had the Leper Gnome to maybe finagle some lethal because of that too. Like, yeah, I don't know. So,
Well,
but a great series by both players, and
I've-
congratulations to Nice Jewish Owl for taking the tournament. Congrats.
I have no clue if they've done interviews of the winners in the past.
Well, I'd love to hear his or her thoughts about Mozaki Mage and just bringing that to this tournament.
Yeah, I guess he'll hop into the because he's in the content section, so he'll just hop in call here with us. Hello.
Well,
Hello.
Oh, congrats, man.
Yeah, I may have scammed the last game a tiny bit. The only draws that won me the game was Cram Session into Mozaki over those 2 turns, but we got there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
Yeah, I mean, what a top deck there at the end. We were calling it beforehand, but seeing that and then seeing the rope count down and you finally getting that last rune orb in there, I mean,
You weren't sure you
what
were
an
gonna get
entertaining
there.
end. Yeah.
Well, I think I missed 2 lethals with Mozaki, but I was also able to get 2 lethals, so
But
it
you
evened
got
out.
Yeah, you got there,
You
man.
got there, man. Yeah, yeah.
I was so worried when I saw you brought Mozaki, but then I saw that you almost got there the first time.
Yeah, I
saw
thought
it.
I got the ping in, but evidently I didn't.
Yeah, so he just missed the one ping for lethal, and then you get there against the Dark Glare. Dark Glare was a bit easier because he had damaged himself a bit,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, got there, and you got there in Game 5 of the tournament. So
Freaking intense.
final possible game of the tournament, you took it. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to Python on second place.
Yeah. I got a little lucky that I was on the side of the bracket with the one Dark Glare player. I was really hoping that more people were going to bring Dark Glare.
Yeah, because Dark Glare absolutely gets wrecked by Mozaki Mage. Like that's
By your
Yeah.
whole lineup, actually. Yeah, too, now that you mention it.
Yeah, that was the goal of the lineup. And
Yeah, a really hard dark glare. I really like that. I didn't notice it, but you mentioned it now. Yeah, a hard dark glare target. I like it.
and don't tell any of my opponents, but the Paladin was the one deck I had that I have literally 0 games on. So I'm really glad that everyone banned it because I have no clue what I'm doing with it.
I mean, Weblore just destroys so many decks.
Just play Called Arms on 4, you're fine.
Yep.
Everything's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice job, all the same.
Yeah,
What are
man.
your feelings about those Dormu as not necessarily a competitive format, but what were your experiences here versus like just playing in normal tournaments?
Um, I mean, I play on like the very fast end of most people in normal tournaments. So Nas doesn't make too much of a difference for me. So I kind of like Nas formats for that reason. But I think it really tests how well you know a deck. Just because, you know, some of my decks were fairly easy, but when you have situations like, you know, with Odd Warrior is a big one where you have a lot of options, you need to be able to evaluate your options really, really quickly. And I
Yes.
think part of that is knowing the deck, and part of that is using your opponent's turn. You know, honestly, when I watch a lot of people stream or play, they aren't thinking about their turn during their opponent's turn, and I'm always planning my turn out. So like it usually when I play, I already know what I'm doing on my turn before the thing pops up, and that's why I play so fast.
Because you're ready to go unless there's some
Yeah.
crazy surprise.
Because he plays a lot of Control Warrior, and he doesn't want those games to go.
Yeah. When you play Control Warrior like me, you got to make the games go fast, otherwise you're wasting time.
Yeah, for sure. But jokes aside about Control Warrior, you got there with your Control Warrior deck twice. That was Kingsbane. The win against Kingsbane was so interesting. It was very much looking like you were gonna lose that, and then you pulled it out.
And then I drew Bulwark.
Then
Easy.
you drew Bulwark. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super familiar with Wild and how that matchup normally goes,
Oh,
but I think
Kingsbane
I
you should have
honestly think
lost, but you won.
yeah, I think Python needed to draw a tiny bit less. I think it's sort of similar to standard weapon rogue in that the way Control Warrior wins is that your opponent decks themselves and then you play Bulwark and they fatigue to death. Um, so I don't know what was in his hand. I don't know what his options were, but that was the first thing that shot to my mind was that he was drawing an awful lot, and I might be able to win in fatigue. Also, having a 7-mana 8/8 in my deck actually helps a lot in that matchup. I noticed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's well said. Yeah, typically the Kingsbane Rogue will have the advantage there, on barring like a Sticky Fingers or something. But
Yeah, you didn't put Sticky Fingers in.
you had the speed of it. Well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean, congrats for me too. I mean, a great series at the end there too, but I mean, takes 3 whole other games just to get there. So, congrats on the
Wow.
tournament as a whole.
To be fair, it took one other game to get there because I got
really?
the
You got
bye
a bye?
round 1, and then my opponent didn't check in round 2. So
Oh,
I
really?
had to win 2
Okay.
games straight to the
Yeah,
top
I was
4,
gonna say
baby.
I knew that I knew that had happened. I didn't want that to be a prevailing storyline, so I didn't bring it up. Like that you got that. I mean, you did get a quick win. I did say that, but I knew
Yeah,
that
to
it
the
was
moon.
I knew that it was a forfeit because I mean it's happened to me in qualifiers before a couple of times where my opponent just doesn't show. But hey,
Yeah, no, sometimes that just happens, true.
yeah, and
Well, it feels good to get the win playing APM decks on a Mac laptop. Yeah.
Oh,
I
get
mean,
out of here!
I
you.
mean, Mr. Python has played on from his mobile before. He's won with Miracle Priest on phone, so on stream.
That's impressive too.
Mm-hmm. I think we casted that one.
I think so as well. Yes.
Yeah,
we did.
he was
I
on his
remember
phone
that.
for that. Yeah, that was quite good. So yeah, that's it for Maniac Monday. we got quite a lot of mileage out of
Pretty fun.
this tournament. For 10-player tournament, and we managed to go 3 hours. Although we did have a couple of like control matchups in the earlier stage that went pretty long. The end was just fireworks, 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 and that was amazing. So, thank you to all the participants who played on stream. I think we got like most of the players in the tournament on stream. So yeah, we got 9 out of the 10 players in the tournament on stream. No, 8 because we didn't get Number Theory and Alexandram. So, yeah. Thank you to all players who participated. Thank you to everybody who watched and commenting in the chat. It's really great to see participation for these tournaments. We'll probably be having tournaments like this throughout the a couple of these throughout the off season, perhaps. I don't really know. I don't run Maniac Monday. That's DeSharmo. But I'm sure he'll come up with some cool stuff. So, thank you, Rotted and Jailstone, for casting. You guys did that was a fantastic job by all of us, I'd say.
It's been a fun job. Thank you, Fish, for OPing. You've done a great job on that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, that was my first time like doing a tournament on the fly, picking out matches, and we got a large variety. Good job. I would say everything was rolling pretty fast. Sorry, you had to sit for a very long time, Milo. So I'm sorry for that, but again, everybody just thanks for coming out. We will see you tomorrow night for Hearth Center. Pro Series finalists will be on the show for their championship celebration, and they'll be going over the rest of the matches that happened. And so till then, I wish everybody a great rest of the night, and stay safe, and we will see you then.
Good night, guys.
Take care, my friends.